My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is my neighborhood.
Ardy and Fist! Ardy and Fist! Ardy and Fist. Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Ardy and Fist. Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we make the moose piss. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Ardy and Fist! Ardy and Fist! Let us show you what you might have missed!
Bruh.
And it looks like, we are in fact live.
We're live. Oh, welcome back, channel listeners, for another episode of Ardy and Fist. It's lovely to see you all. Fuck, man, I tell you what, that AI has got some pipes on him, mate. Right, he's gonna need a throat lozenge after that performance. I'm telling you, right?
AI's got some pipes on him. Hey,
Yeah,
fellas, musician fellas, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I have made so many songs by so many different bands that are passable at the very least, and pretty darn good sometimes at the very best. So,
Yeah,
know-
did you ever catch that Death Angel B-side? It was called "Do You Have a Throat Lozenge?"
no,
Apparently, it was
that's too obscure even for me. Wow, you really roll deep with the goth stuff.
Oh,
huh?
mate,
you know
look,
all the stuff.
mate, Throat Lozenge was a certified fucking underground hit in the metal scene. You know, when I was a weean, right? You know, before I attained unkhood.
I know.
You know what I mean? Fucking, you know what I'm getting into like recently? Racist funk, right? You know what funk is?
Well, one of the songs I played here for an intro was in fact funk. I don't actually know what it is.
It's like this weird kind of like swing electronica that apparently simultaneously came out of like Detroit and Russia. I don't know, mate. I love it. It's and adding sort of like gratuitous racism to it just makes it like even better, because it reminds me, right, of like back in the fucking like 90s, right, when like hardcore techno was like really fucking taking off, right? It was really transgressive and shit, right? Like, you know, all the olds be like sticking their fingers in their ears being like, what is this noise you're playing, right? And we're like, yeah, you hate it. Yeah, we love the fact that you hate it. And now, right, all these SoundCloud DJs making all these tracks about like Epstein and FDNs. It's glorious, mate. It's like, yeah, I don't know, mate. It's a breath of fresh air. It's all fucking like,
well, you have to know how to like sift through the slop, right? Obviously, there's going to be some slop where it's like this kind of sounds like a song, but you can tell that it's pretty AI. But then some of the AI music, it's like, oh no, this took 2 minutes to make, and this is passable. The whole thing kind of checks out. Some of the authenticities they added, and the AI music too, is completely unnecessary to make it sound very human-like.
But you know what I don't understand? In this age of the Tiki and the Talkie and the YouTubes, the songs they're very short. Some of them are only 50 seconds long. I just be getting into my groove and being about to do a large line of K of the desk, and the song finishes. It's too short. We need to go back to the old days where they had hardcore tracks that lasted for like 6 minutes. You need to get on that, you little whippersnappers.
So I'm sorry, is this character the 80-year-old person that was born in 2015?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
is this what the retirement homes are going to sound like in like fucking 40 years?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be weird, right? Like half of them are going to be like trans and gay, right? And they'll be like reminiscing about their like youth when they were like in love with their best friend, and the other ones are going to be like reminiscing. They'll be like, or Alzheimer's waking up being like,
Right.
who stole my penis?
Yeah, right. Like,
Nurse.
You've seen how like music, like they forget things. They're essentially catatonic, but they'll hear a song and then all of a sudden start twerking in their wheelchair. Go, oh, there's grandma again. She's twerking again, just like she used to.
Now that's
she's remembering.
We're gonna need racist funk in the nursing homes to like wake all the old up. I remember this song.
I mean, I'm already starting to have an attachment to the AI songs that I'm hearing now, and they're becoming classics in my mind, So I mean, is that what it's gonna be? Like listening to music and watching movies, it doesn't. Things just don't hit the same like they used to. Like even if I listen to like a generic hit from like 2002, I get like emotionally nostalgic at this point. Something that wasn't even that like good of a song that I didn't even necessarily like. And I'm like, oh wow, this is somehow hitting so hard.
Peptide Gooner?
Why?
Yeah, no, it's this banger. It's doing the rounds on Twitter. It's certified. It's certified gem, mate. Yeah, Unc says it's certified gem. No, it's really good.
I hate this generation. I know.
It's been so weird to have heard like actual new genres of electronic music. I'm just like, wow, like someone still like made it. Yeah, check it out. Peptide Gooner. It's
you can't sound like you're being serious when you say that, just so you know.
I
know that you're being serious, right? But you're also a sarcastic person. So even when you're saying something seriously, it sounds unbelievably sarcastic when you're saying it. Okay, so let's try it again and don't sound sarcastic when you're saying it. Just try and say it seriously. Go ahead. Give me the recommendation again.
Peptide Gooner.
Yeah, okay. Right, dude. You really mean that. You're really serious about it. You can't, dude. I hate this generation.
Well, I had to put my sarcasm on hold, mate. I was doing the sort of issuing round for Flemcoin, right? And I had to manufacture like a lot of Flem, right? But it's cool, right? We got like 1 billion tokens out, right? It was a lot of work. Fortunately, I did rope in sort of half the country of Israel to help me, with sort of the Flem production. Turns out that Hebrew is like really, really great for that. So Flemcoin is now like fully vested. You can buy it now.
A common misconception in our community that you've been sick when you've been an early investor, an early adopter in the coin.
That's right. It was all a ruse, actually.
And Nick Fuentes is not doing any more shows this week because he lost his voice, which is kind of strange because you were on the ropes doing shows because of your voice. And were you guys in like close proximity to one another by any chance? It's just odd. It's just odd that all of a sudden that both of you lost your voices around the same time.
You've caught me out, Ardy. I have to announce to the world that actually Fuentes is my secret gay lover. We're very, very passionately in love.
I was just assuming you had some sort of meeting with him.
Well, we did.
Possibly you went and enjoyed a spot of tea together or whatever it is that you do over there. I don't know if he came to you or you came to him, but apparently he came on you and you came on him. I was trying to just keep this polite, like you were just colluding.
No, look, my passion will not be denied. Ardy, I need to announce it to the world.
Apparently. My God. Thank God your wife doesn't listen to this.
She's fine with it. It was a tense few moments, right? But then I explained, my sort of, deep abiding love for that cat boy bussy.
Yeah, this is how you know Fist wears the pants in his relationship. Okay, his wife knows what's up. Okay, he is the owner of his domain. Okay, it's not cheating. Isn't that funny? How like there's been men who have like had a girlfriend, and it's like, oh, if you make it with another girl, like that's not even cheating. That's just like hot, right? That never works with guys. A woman is always like, you're a homo if you make out with a guy. You ever notice that that's not a two-way street?
Listen, I know it goes against like all of my religious sensibilities, right? But it's love. How can something so wrong just feels so right.
You've done this to yourself. You have done this to yourself. I was just gonna say like colluding, something about the moose, but there's no going back now. And now, and just like that, we can't delete it, we can't rewind it, and just like that,
yeah, it's out there. It's out there now. It's out there now. You know, it's well, you know, I mean, I feel better having got that off my chest. Like you know, the vesting of all that Flem coin. You know what I mean, right? And that was the thing. See, you know, Nick wanted to like buy in to Flem coin.
Yeah, there we go.
You know, I sort of allowed him. I allowed him inside me. Inside.
No, why? Just talk about the Flem coin. Some colluding, some investments, whatever moon knowledge. I don't know. Introduce an upcoming topic on the show that we're going to be covering. You know, use it as like a leeway as to foreshadow what's going to come up in the show. You know, something like that. I was thinking.
No, look, you know, it's fine. It's fine. You know,
it has to be fine. It's the only way to feel about it. Oh man.
We do a little trolling. Yeah, no, it's so I am actually feeling better though. Thanks to everyone who sent me like nice messages, by the way, like wishing me like a swift recovery. I really appreciate that, guys. Like, thank you. We have the best fellas. It's getting
all
better.
Stark raving Nazis that are very, very mean, very scary. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Actually, let me take a moment to talk about this. What I really enjoy about our community is the lack of Fed posting here. Okay. Now, I have noticed that Homath and maybe even Zoomer Historian, I've covered it on X a little bit, they're starting to have some pretty spicy rhetoric, okay? Things you wouldn't dare say in 2017 and 2020. And I know they were allowed to say things now, okay? But let's not forget that the Proud Boys got, you know, a couple of decades in federal prison for saying way less than what people are openly saying now.
Ardy, look. It's not like the Democrats are ever going to get back into power.
That's right? What I'm saying.
Then launch some kind of like massive purge on the right. Like, what are you? You're crazy, right? Look at this guy. He's crazy. Everybody knows, right, that Trump is going from strength to strength. His base is larger and more girthier than ever, right? If anything, right?
You know,
everyone's just so tired of winning. He hasn't betrayed his base, right? He hasn't like begun attacking his greatest supporters, right? Those people who like literally went out on a limb. It's Trump. He wouldn't do that. Oh wait, yeah, he totally fucking would.
Well,
because he's got new friends now. He's got the new old small-hatted friends, the bestiest of friends.
Remember when the community would call people glowies or feds in like comment sections, right? That's not happening anymore, and I no longer know where the line is between what we're calling a Fed post and what people are going, yes, I agree with that full-heartedly. Yes, we need to take to the streets, and there's no other options. And like, so anyway, so far, tentatively, on Saturday at 7:30, I'm going to have a stream with Tim Hale, who was a Jan 6th prisoner, who knows a lot about the feds, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. A lot of stuff that's not talked about and vocalized or spotlighted very often. So I think this would be a good time to be like, this guy was in prison for 2 to 3 years, constant gaslighting. They had his roommate wore a wire. All of these things he has receipts for as well. So just because we're allowed to say these things doesn't it just attracts glowies to talk about. Going in the streets and committing violence, okay?
The way you're talking, you're so fucking paranoid, man. It's not like they like suddenly have this like huge AI network that's like run by some like weird creepo close to the Trump administration that's like sucking up every word ever said on the internet that will probably then be used in your AI powered trial for like speech crimes. What the fuck's wrong with you, right? Like, well, I suppose you imagine that there's some company out there called like, oh, I don't know, Palantir or some other fucking crazy name, like siphoning up all the information, like just waiting in the wings to like use it against you at a later date. Paranoid fantasies, mate.
All I'm saying is I've seen people go to prison for much, much less, and they have a memory and they save these things. And, the tides can turn very quickly. So on Saturday, so far, it looks like we're going to have that stream.
Oh, that'd be nice.
posting stream.
That'd be cool.
I think it's good to check in. You know, we're getting pretty comfortable. You know, it's not like I don't make crazy jokes or say crazy things. Okay, I'm not saying like don't have fun on the internet, right? But yeah, that's what.
So
what
have we got for tonight? I mean, that's a pretty solid opener. I think.
Yeah.
Shall we get into the?
You want to get down to it, do you?
Well, yeah. You know.
Well,
I didn't know you cared.
We should check in on something that we, as close as possible could break the news on, which is what Chud guy. What are we calling him?
I believe the population have called him Chud guy. The memes on this have been hilarious, although it looks like you've been doing more meme farming than I have. But yes, there is a second part to this story. You will remember the very famous, or now famous, Chud guy. So it was his neighbor. Oh my God. On April 7th, 29-year-old Jason Thomas Nichols went to his neighbor's home on Burbank Court in Fairfield. I don't know where the hell that is, somewhere in America. Mm-hmm. Around 9:30 a.m., violently banging and kicking the door, demanding their daughter, calling himself Harry Dresden, forcing his way inside, and later being arrested and charged with multiple felonies. Mental health is a real crisis in this country. I mean, we don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was ex-military or something like that, because when the Hispanic guy the homeowner was talking to him, I don't know. There's still a lot of clarification that needs to be had, but he did make his way inside of the home, and so apparently the homeowner was not home.
Where the fuck is he?
He drove. He drove home in order, to address this guy that was in his home. I believe his wife and child were home when this happened.
Yeah, so apparently he couldn't get in through the front door and he broke in through like a side door or something like that. Dude, scary. I mean, obviously a lot of people have been, how do I put this, castle doctrine posting about this. Pretty fucking scary. I mean, he looks to me, I mean, like he might be a schizo, right? Like not like an actual proper schizophrenic. I don't know. Or maybe he's been talking to ChatGPT too much, right? And he's like convinced himself that, I don't know, that there's an Epstein ring in his neighbor's house or some shit. I've got no idea, but this is pretty crazy. We'll play it, shall we?
Where the fuck is he? Huh? Victor, you around? Huh? You like raping little girls, bitch? Huh? You fucking try me, I swear to God, I'll fucking kill you. Do you understand me? Get the fuck out of my fucking house! You think you can fucking stop me, motherfucker? I will save that little girl, you bitch! There's no fucking... You're fucking liar! I can hear her! I can fucking hear her! You bitch! You son of a... I'll fucking kill you! Man, hurry the fuck up, because I'm gonna drag his ass out. I'm telling you, who are you talking to, bitch? Who are you talking to, bro? Stand on the fucking ground. Who the fuck do you think you are? My name is Harry Dresden. Get the fuck out of my house. Why are you screaming? There's no one up there. Get the fuck out of my third room, bro. Walk the fuck out. What's the third room? Walk the fuck out. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a chance right now, man. What's the third room? I'm giving you a fucking chance. Get the fuck out of my house. What's the third room, bro? I'm telling you, get the fuck out of my house. Please. Just answer the question. Get the fuck out of my house. Answer the question, please. There's no one in there. There's 3 rooms, man. I don't know who you are. You better get the street at 1797 Co-op Drive. I don't know who you're talking about, man. Why do I hear screaming? Are you military? Yes. Okay. Can you help me out? Okay. Yes. I understand what you're going through right now. Yes. Can you step outside? Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Do you see how he de-escalated that, right? Thank you for asking. Even with this white guy being so mad and screaming, he was still like, okay, I'll thank you very much for that. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. You're muted. Fisty baby, you're muted. Can I unmute you? You have to unmute yourself, Fist. You're scaring me. Fist.
Sorry.
There you are.
Is this guy even white? Right? Because if he is, right, how can we say anything good about him? Right? 4chan rules, man. Right? Like, Look, I'm down. I know the rules, right? We have to side with the white guy over the. Oh, I don't know.
Whatever he is. White? I know what he's not, and that's white. Okay.
Oh, mate.
He's making mudbloods over here. Homeboy, yeah. Harry Dresden over here is trying to do the Lord's work, okay, and purify the area.
I mean, he does say in the start that he thinks the dude's like a pedo or something like that. I don't know. It's going to be interesting when this goes to trial, I guess. Like, hopefully they'll televise the trial and there'll be more Kino to watch. I mean, it might approach the Kino sort of oh my god, who's that dude, the guy in Waukesha who did that like car massacre, that person of melanated descent who was like the ex-rapper. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. Chat would know.
How many of their names should you really have committed to memory?
I spent a lot of time watching that trial footage. It was just so goddamn funny, right? Like, yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for asking.
On the street, bro. Bro, everything's fine. Please step outside. Okay.
Okay.
Sit there. Sit on the ground, please. Sir.
Pause it. We have seen blacks way less escalated, and they can't get de-escalated. This guy was so escalated, and it was that easy to de-escalate him, okay? That's okay. Can we agree that's kind of a racial difference right there in the aggregate? The fact that he was able to be de-escalated from being that high to he actually listened to tone and he somehow capitulated to this guy. I mean, okay. I'm trying to be a compromise over here, right?
I mean, pretty amazing how he de-escalated it.
How you doing, sir? Don't move. Move. Don't move. Come here.
Oh yeah, and the cops.
And then the cops show up, and the rest of it's like much less interesting.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think this is just the cops like showing up.
Yeah, nothing is actually shown.
Yeah.
So in handcuffs. So that's the update that we have for now.
It is a mystery. Okay, so chat. Happy Holly. No, how do you? Happy Holy Remembrance Day.
Is that an actual thing?
It certainly is.
Is that an international thing? Do we have that in the United States? And is that all across the West? That's like a federal holiday?
Dude, everywhere it's a holiday, right? And when they colonize like other planets, the first thing they're going to do is set down a holy museum, right? In member of all the Martians that died under, like, just shut up, right? Like, they're going to do it. So we got like a few of these. I mean, it just, the thing about it, right, is that it's just always these expressions of like naked revenge, essentially, right? They're just like, we would like to dedicate this very solemn occasion to saying how we're going to fucking kill everyone.
I mean, think about it. If we're always remembering slavery, wouldn't that breed resentment? With ancestors of the slaves?
Ardy, right? Look, you have to understand, right? The holy is the top of the pyramid, right?
Yeah,
then
right.
Slavery, right? Then trans genocide, then violence against women.
Did you know? What? Did you know that in Ukraine you're allowed to lie about the Holodomor, but not the Holly? Did you know that?
Yeah, they actually just passed more laws in Ukraine. You can get 8 years in prison now for denying the Holy.
Isn't that incredible? Like, to their own people, that just is so odd to me. That's never really talked about. That you can lie about your own country's history, but not about. As we'll see, there's still some questionable parts that we've been told.
Well, if you knew anything about the Bolsheviks, this wouldn't come as a surprise. That was actually one of the first things that the Bolsheviks did when they got into power, was to make anti-Semitism punishable by death. Because
I'm just having a moment of silence.
Right? Yes, of course. Moment of silence, Chad.
A psalm, a song for Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken.
The enemies are making the tunnels. Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are a confederate against thee, the barnacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebel and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also joined with them. They have helped the children.
And that's a lot of people. Right. So it's like Esau. So it's like the whites, Ishmael. That's the Muslims, the Palestinians of time. Okay, who else is on your shit list?
The Lord Selah, do unto them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as to the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yeah, let them be put to shame and perish.
So very Christian sentiment there, as I'm sure you can appreciate. You know what I mean, right?
Ashkenazi chief rabbi over there. You know,
Yeah.
they're rabbis, Shmuley included. Very colorful characters, we can agree, right? Different than a lot of other what you would consider Orthodox. You know, you don't really see Orthodox Christians acting that way.
Certainly, very, very colorful people, very, very deep and mystical traditions, which, of course, as a Gentile, I could not possibly understand. I don't have that proper Moorish soul in order to be able to understand. Nor do I have like 7 years to be on welfare and study the Torah. So they tell me, right?
As you've seen.
Yeah.
Right now, we are witnessing a rising wave of anti-Semitism that threatens Jews all around the world. As president of the State of Israel, I wish to remind us, Israel and the diaspora are one family with one shared destiny. And when any Jew is harmed anywhere on the face of the earth, our collective heart skips a beat.
I'm sorry, pause it. What is the international workers of the world? An injury to one is an injury to all?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
The IWW. I don't know. But I mean, can you imagine if whites talked like this, right? Like if there's like one white person anywhere in the world gets harmed, right? We're gonna like nuke you from orbit.
Yeah, let me just grab this real quick. This is so mooey.
Yeah,
an injury to one is an injury to all. One big union. So I mean, this I don't even have to really guess as to how that started.
Didn't the blacks also do that in the civil rights movement? Like injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Yes, this is where it every single time, fellas.
I know that from Boondocks. Well, Boondocks taught me a lot about black culture. God, I miss Boondocks. Holy crap. Bring back Boondocks.
I call upon all world leaders. Empty words will not cover up in action. This is the time for courageous action. You must fight anti-Semitism with all means and in every place before it is too late.
Do you mean military means? When you say all means, right, that does sound very expensive.
Totalizing. Yeah, it sounds limitless until the threat is gone. That's usually how that's interpreted.
I mean, but they
didn't mean it that way. No. You can't. They can decide what you mean, but you can't decide what they mean. Very different.
I mean, it just, in plain language, it does rather sound like they are preparing for actual kinetic.
Your imagination is running rampant and conspiratorial right now. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, thanks.
Until they explicitly say anything, it's a conspiracy. Okay.
I definitely wouldn't want to be conspiratorial in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, BB, of course, looking like a wrinkled nutsack, is up.
Citizens of Israel, looking back at the Holocaust, a painful question arises in full force. What if? What if we had a state back then? What if the nations of Europe had stopped the monstrous Nazism in time instead of a...
Wait. If you'd had a state back then are you saying all the moves would have left Europe to go there? Which, isn't that what the Snazis wanted? So
what was it called? The the agreement for them to leave?
The Havara. It was called the
Yes.
Havara Agreement. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They were going to be resettled in Madagascar.
Yeah,
So I mean,
surely they talk about that on Remembrance Day, since that's a part of the history, right?
Mate, King Spectre, you should face grab that for another icon, mate. Like, look at that fucking face.
Which one?
So I mean, it would seem. I mean, I think though this was one of the principal sort of arguments for Zionism, actually, like after the war, was that if the Moos had their own state, this would never have happened. I just feel like he's kind of torturing history a bit here. But look, obviously, I'm not qualified, being a filthy Gentile, to speak on these matters.
Appeasing it. What if the Allies had bombed the extermination camps?
Wouldn't that have killed like a lot of Moos?
Well, did that happen? Did the United States kill any Moos with bombs?
Well, I know
in that
they,
area.
I know they bombed like all the railway lines that took supplies to these places, which caused like sort of widespread starvation, like all over Germany. I don't know.
Starvation is fine. Famine is fine. No one cares about that. Just the holly.
If you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few kosher eggs. I don't understand.
But, my friends, history has no what-ifs. The terrible disaster occurred. The nightmare became reality. The world was plunged into a war of destruction that claimed the lives of tens of millions of people, and of course, of 6 million of our own people. The same world which stood by in face of the persecution of the Jews came to understand that hatred of Jews, toxic anti-Semitism, undermines the very foundations of human society. In light of all this, we are acting so that future generations will not ask with regret, what if?
Wait. So it undermines the foundation of human society. What about places where there aren't any Moos? Like,
but we don't have a West without the Moos, is what you're not understanding.
Right, but hypothetically, if you did have like a country, like I think like Iceland has only got like a couple, and all they do is like promote mass migration, because, of course, right? Would that?
Yeah, no, but that's not all of them. See, you're acting like it's all of them, and I'm here to let you know that it's not all of them, so it's fine.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
The answers are already being given. For 2.5 years, we have been systematically breaking down the Iranian axis of evil. In Rafah, in the Philadelphia corridor, in Gaza, in the pager operation, in the targeted elimination of our terrorists, deaths in War, Nasrallah, and others in Lebanon, in Syria, and Judea, and Samaria, and Yemen, and of course, in operations Rising Lion and Roaring Lion.
Right.
This lion, that lion, who gives a shit?
Lion. They always lion.
Wow. Yeah, I know you're sitting for it, but do you stand by it? Wow.
Excuse me.
I know. We get it. You're investing. We get it. Okay.
Another flame.
You're telling us to invest to get in early. We're getting a hint right now.
Bros, did you know though, right, about the Hindu Holi?
No,
I know. I was not aware, but here's Trump. This is apparently back in 2022.
I fully endorse the idea of building a Hindu Holocaust memorial in DC. I totally do. I mean, I think it's time. And we're going to get that done. All right?
Now, you would think
that was shot and recorded in India with that dog shit audio. Oh my God.
My first thought, of course, right, is that this would be another way to beat the whites. And maybe it was like, about the Bengal famine or something. But no, apparently this holy memorial would be in memory of the Hindus who died at the hands of the Muslims in the wars leading up to the partition of India and Pakistan. So you can see how, like, it's apparently Judeo-Hindu values that is already
Judeo-Hindu. No.
Yeah, they're working on it. Don't worry, bros. Though, you too can save one precious move.
Today, we are witnessing the rise of anti-Semitism around the world like never before. For many poor elderly Jews, their dream of making Aliyah one day and coming home to Israel is extremely difficult, if not impossible. But you can change all of that today for one precious Jew.
Dude, I will hear like advertisements similar to this, and I try and pull out my phone to get it in time because it'll just be random, like a random commercial, like Pandora or something like that.
Mate, this is, I mean, dude, just this woman's reaction says a lot about like how bad the PR effort is going.
The safety and shalom of moving to Israel under God's protection and his covenant promise to bring his chosen people home is why we're asking you today to partner with us. The cost to rescue one Jew and purchase a seat on an upcoming Fellowship Aliyah Freedom Flight is $710. With a donation to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews of $35, you'll help one poor elderly Jew out of a life of hopelessness and anti-Semitism to start a brand new life in Israel. Here's how you can reach 800-342-0044.
Doesn't that feel like AI?
004.
Like,
what do you mean?
It just feels like AI. That's like a skit. Like a lot of the things that are really happening with the moves right now don't feel real.
Yeah, you know, well, it is the essence of clown world, right? Like that's what clown world is, right? Is when something happens and you're like, wait, is that satire or
I know,
is that...
but like it's as God intended, which is why he needs you to pay money for them to go to Israel. It's just that's a movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of that money reaches like the needy moos that are going to do Aliyah and isn't like siphoned off into like some kind of like weird, charity scam or anything like that.
One of the people who tends to be the lead critiquer and the self-appointed policing of any sort of criticism against child murder and rape is, of course, I'm talking about Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL. And a few weeks ago, he said something that confused me. And I wanted to play this for you, and I want you to explain to me what he's talking about. Play the clip.
In this place, at Never Is Now, and in the month and years to come, we will celebrate who we are and hold our heads high. We will not hide our identities. We will not seek forgiveness.
Wait, have you been Wait, is he saying that up to this point they have been hiding their identities and seeking forgiveness? Okay.
No. That's not what you're choosing to interpret it that way in a bad faith way.
Right. Excuse me.
For our faith, we will never apologize for our love and support for the Jewish state of Israel. Not now and not ever. And to those who hate us, we say to them, we see you, we hear you. And guess what? We are not going anywhere. We are not the Jews of trembling knees. We are here now and forever. Am Yisrael Chai.
Okay. What does this mean? We are...
Pause that real quick.
Yummy. Me still hungry. Me want Juju come from Jonathan Greenblatt too.
Ugh. All right, Mr. Greenblatt. You better give him what he wants.
With pleasure.
Yay! Juju come.
Okay. That's it. That's all. I just love how Jonathan Greenblatt is drawn there and how he acts. They really encapsulate his entire demeanor very well there.
Mate, the new Emily Eucas thing is pretty fucking awesome. A lot of people are like, oh, where are the jokes? But it's what they don't get is it's meant to be a sort of grotesquerie.
Yes.
Right? Like it's very, very different like tone. Like, and plus she had to switch to a new AI engine. So we really should get her on the show.
Yeah, look fine to me. If you want to do that, absolutely.
I reckon that'd be pretty cool. All right.
Not the Jews of trembling knees. That really struck me.
That sounds like a weird sex position, honestly.
Yeah, especially getting struck.
Hey, baby, do you want to do the moves with the trembling knees?
It really struck me. It really cleaned my clock. It really woke me up.
Oh, God.
The critique, like you as a Jewish person cannot critique Israel, but he's critiquing the Jews of trembling knees. Are you a Jew of trembling? What is this? What does this mean? As a person that, grew up in flyover America that doesn't know that much about foreign policy, what does this mean?
I think you just got a window into the psychological derangement that is at the heart of Zionism. One of the things that Zionism is built on is it's built on a hatred of the Jewish past and of the Jewish diaspora. There is this disgusting idea that has
don't you
always
love
been...
to see moo on moo crime right now? The left moves and the right moves. Don't you love to see a hatred? Oh,
yeah.
The moos could never be as we saw with James Lindsay. How dare you ever even imply that moo could be hateful?
It's the Zionists versus the Bolsheviks all over again.
Oh,
basically, you know, like it's always the Zionists versus the Bolsheviks. It's so fucking weird.
Endemic in Zionism that there were weak Jews in the past, that the Jews in the diaspora were weak, that they had trembling knees, right? That
Holocaust victims?
Yeah, like Holocaust victims.
Are you serious?
I am not kidding you. Holocaust victims were nicknamed soap in Israel after
what?
the war.
So he's
what? Can we stop with the soap? Can we just stop with the soap? I'm trying to be respectful on this Remembrance Day, okay? And sure, Nick Fuentes had this whole thing with Mimum Zabara's soap, and it was really funny, and he embarrassed Lord Danny Finkelstein for weeks and weeks and weeks, okay? And I just got past it. Never, all of you people, don't bring up soap. It is not, it's not doing you any favors, okay?
I mean, that is fucking savage, mate, right? Like, if a Gentile said that, they'd be like, straight to gulag.
She just gave me an idea right now. Just calling them soaps.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Referring here to...
He's referring to Holocaust victims, to pogrom victims, to all of the Jewish victims of persecution throughout our history. And what Zionism is built on a contempt for those people and an idea that a new Jewish person can be created, a strong Israeli, strongly and bravely raping and murdering Arabs.
Criminal.
Exactly. And that you have two choices. You're either the big, strong war criminal, or you're the weak Jew with the trembling knees that ends up in the gas chamber.
Oh my God, that's just really, that to me seems very anti-Semitic.
It's horrific.
Yes. Yes.
Faye, you're not loving Israel enough. You don't worship Israel enough.
Oh, that is so satisfying to hear. We have to do
man.
right now.
Oh, that is just insane. Like what the fuck?
You gotta soup it up.
Soup it up? All right.
Put a dent in them.
Okay. Frankenstein for $10.
Thank you there.
Thank you very much. Guys, be sure to like the stream and go and watch Fistory. It's just like this show minus imagination. It helped me learn that the moves have more conspiracies than the CIA. Yes. Wait, we'll play the GIF, mate. That thing is like freaking cool. Don't disappoint Harry Dresden. If you don't like and subscribe, he's gonna show up at your freaking house, mate, and start like harassing you. Okay, so you know, just be warned. Just John, please, for $5. Thank you. Happy bright Tuesday, Ardy and Fist. Doctor is risen, and he is playing Yid D chess to beat China by crippling our economy.
See, you just don't understand his mysterious ways. Okay, Trump works in mysterious ways.
Listen, Just John, right? If you don't have an economy, it can't be crippled. All right.
How many D's is that, chess?
Mate, that's all the D's, right? That's like, you know, mini D chess. Is a night for $5. Thank you, mate. My normie wife saw my history and asked what Fistory was. Told her the history of the D-Gen prom and their stars seemed easier than explaining the movie.
Dude, yeah, right? You're looking at something so embarrassing on the internet. They go, no, it's porn. I was jerking off. No, I wasn't watching this.
We got so many references to Fistory. Thank you, guys. Last episode, if you guys want to check it out, I think link here is in the description. Was about the legend of the Golem, where I dug up this like rather interesting book that was written in 1909 by this guy Frank Rosenberg, I think it was, and he basically said that it's a 300-year-old manuscript. They dug it out of a library in like Metz, and it's clearly not, and it's just a sort of like weird kind of like fantasy thing. It's pretty enjoyable. Check that out. Just John, please, for $5. Thank you very much. Also, Fist has the COVID-19. It's the Kippur strain. Yeah. No, the deadliest strain of all.
It's literally making you talk and think like a moo. I think you definitely have that strain.
I'm afraid so. King Spectre for $5. Hey, Spectre, how you doing, mate? I love the profile picture. Is that going to be your new argument, Ardy? Kissing guys isn't gay. First trace mixing, now homosexuality. You really are a liberal. You've been found out, Ardy.
No, I didn't say it's not gay. It is gay. It's not gay when women do it, and it is gay when guys. That was the whole. Oh no, I'm really. Can I go back and erase things I've said on the internet, please?
Well, look, it's just a good thing. This is a very, very serious podcast, right? And we never ever make jokes or use like hyperbole or anything like that, right? We are dead 100% serious, and every single crazy thing that Ardy says on this show, he will back to the hilt. 100%.
I like how you're ignoring everything you've said so far.
That's different.
Stream.
No, that's
you should be also focused on what you've said on the stream so far too, and not
no, mate. I'm doing that positional thing, right? Where like everything you say has to be taken literally, but everything I say is like a joke, or is sort of like, so haha, suck it. Last Remembrancer for $10. Thank you, mate. I did not see. It was Holy Remembrance Day. Seek help, Holocaust. Mate, I can't believe the lack of knowledge of people in this chat. You didn't even know it was like Holy Remembrance Day.
I got a little tidbit for you about that regarding the tattoos in a few moments.
Okay. King Spectre again for $5. Thank you very much. It's not all of them. It's just 99.9999 of them. So it's really unfair to paint the entire group with a broad brush. He changed his profile picture. Oh, God bless you, King Spectre.
Yeah, I meant to find the post he sent on X where he was like, sigh, and he's like, I'm gonna have to add it to the pile. And then I made a joke, and then he showed me like a folder of like 20 pictures that he has ready to go. And he's like sighing like it's a part, like, oh, I'm compelled to do this. I have to now voluntarily do this. Oh, the burden.
That's the kind of dedication we need from our chat, bros. King Spectre again for another $5. Thank you, mate. One precious moo. I'm reminded of a very old Onion bit about our precious gays. Yeah, exactly. Back when the Onion was still fucking funny. Yeah, I remember that. Before 4 times. Is the night again for $5. Thank you, mate. The moos, any harm to any moo anywhere pains all of our hearts. Me when my kid falls from roughhousing. Anything broken? Any blood? No, don't coddle him.
How true is that?
Dude. Soul on the Lich for 100.
We'll give it to him.
Thank you very much. Poor innocent chosen people. You're not letting them have tunnels and their honeypot islands. They're now desperately in need of some land cleansing. I could not possibly comment on that.
It's just never enough is what it seems like. It seems very femme-coded.
Isaac, fellow racist funk enjoyer, by the way, a man of culture, $5. After Big Yahoo's speech, all I can think about now is how we can make 6 trillion cookies and 6 trillion Indians. Save white race. White is now able to send 14 nums 88. I don't know, right? Like,
what do you mean?
I guess
he means it.
I guess he's saying that like YouTube is like censoring. I mean, look, you can't censor Isaac, mate. He's endlessly creative. Asher Genius for $5. Thank you. Hey, Fizz, just curious, do you remember what the gist of Spoonie's deleted video on Aiden that he released right before your stream with her last year? Yeah, he basically accused her of being a slag and ripping him off, and was very, very unkind to her, which is pretty awful because Aiden's a very, very nice person, IRL, and I do not support that.
I have,
but I don't
negative thing about
I don't really like to drama post those, so
yeah, that's more my my area of the internet.
Yeah, Ardy is the expert on that. I tend to just like stay away from it. Except I will make an exception for Lindsay, because that guy just he fucking really pisses me off. And Turtle Black Up Painting for 5 memberships.
Hello.
Hey TBP.
Fellas, as much as you want to make fun of me, right, for discussing the very important topic of race mixing, there's no one on the internet that makes fun of the blacks quite like I do. And the people that know that the most are the hard R fellers, okay? You're really going to want to see the Isaiah L. Carter streams, members only streams, 2 of those. Then there was one that was public. That's like 10 hours right there. Also the lore videos, me from like 2017, 2018, 2019. This one of me debating blacks, saying the N-word, being like, hey guys, it's a word. We're going to have to say it. That's the only way to end this. Otherwise, we're just going to call it anyway. So That's what you can expect behind the paywall.
Yeah. Thank you very much, TVP. I hope you're well, mate. Right. Super chats achieved, mate. Achievement unlocked. So what else have we got? Oh, we got Brother Nathaniel talking about.
Yes. Am I showing the tats after that?
Yes. So this is his take on national.
Who's this guy?
Holiday. So Brother Nathaniel is a Moo who converted to Orthodoxy. He is very, very, very critical of Moodyism. Again, if you watch my show, Fishery, you will know that this is a sort of a thing that goes back through history. When Moos leave and convert to Christianity, they're often very, very, very critical of Moodyism, and they often sort of spill the beans, basically, and and become effectively a Moser. So a Moser is Yiddish for, I think it's Yiddish, for a Moo that betrays another Moo to the Gentiles, right? That reveals their secrets, or lets the Gentile courts intervene. Very, very, very bad thing from the Mooish perspective.
Won't hear something like this on mainstream media.
And I had what was the 1953. I was born in 1950, and my dad bought the 1953 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. That's just what he bought. So there is a section on World War II by a famous Jewish historian at the time named Jacob Marcus. I'll never forget. Okay. So my dad wanted me to read it, and other portions too. All right. And Jacob Marcus said that in the work camps, they weren't called concentration camps. They were called war camps to support the war effort. There were many.
I mean, I would say this is very antiseptic, but he is Mooish. What's the protocol for dealing with this situation, Ardy?
So he's going again. Well, I mean, there's no way you can be. Isn't it funny how it's only anti-Semitic, by the way? It's you can't be Semitic. No one calls anyone Semitic. So even that concept doesn't make any sense. But moving past that, there's no all they are is that narrative. So I mean, if you're going against that narrative, that would have to be the defining line, right?
I'm just
almost like you can't be on the left and be pro-white. It's a contradiction.
I don't know. This guy confuses me. I'm just gonna have to delete him from my brain. Clearly, right? If I can't fit him in, since I've discovered leftism, basically, right? Like if I can't look at something immediately and just fit it into a box, I can't cope with it. So I just delete it out of my brain. It's very, very useful, actually.
Political prisoners, Jehovah's Witnesses, and gypsies in there.
I've never heard anything about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Prisoners were Jews because most of them were promoting the Communist Internationale.
Mm-hmm.
And he says because of the Allied bombings, many perished. Probably
it really is incredible how James Lindsay can go through so much of the history of communism and leave out the Moos. It's like you can't.
Yeah,
you have to consciously, and I know this because I was an anti-communist. I had to consciously try to ignore all of the Moo association.
Well, this is what kicked off all the stuff around Lindsay. It was Hagelborg and me and
a
few other people. It was Hagelborg who really put in like a lot of the work, because for some weird reason, I think she was at university at the time and she was basically studying Kabbalah, right? Like autistically, right?
Yes.
And it was just so freaking obvious. Like, and everyone was expecting Lindsay to just be like make a spirited, like be like, yes, but, and then make a defense, and he just never did. He just didn't talk about it, and left this just huge.
But he
gap.
put
Like,
it on this is what he's so good at. He'll put it on your radar and just put it right on the table and not say anything about it. And then you go, well, I'm going to go research this now. And then he's foaming mad that you went and researched it when he never gave you a narrative, a way to feel about it. I've never seen anything like it.
It's like you're sitting across the table from someone, right? They just unzip and like drop their dick on the table and then just like don't mention it. Like,
we're not going to talk about that. And then he's taken aback. I can't believe you would talk about it that way.
I can't believe you would talk about it. Dude, it's right there.
I'm talking about it because of you.
200,000 Jews mostly, but gypsies and Jehovah's Witnesses. We didn't hear this word 6 million. We never heard this word concentration camps. We never heard of extermination. I'm just telling you, growing up in the 50s, and anybody Jewish growing up in the 50s would affirm this. We didn't hear this. We didn't hear of gas chambers. And if we did hear of Zyklon B, it was a delousing agent. And what I've learned about Germans being in the business world for so long is that Germans they put people to work. They're very efficient people.
Good point.
They're not going to waste so much time and money killing somebody that can do work. So Auschwitz says work makes free. Now, just to make the story a little more lively, sometime in 1967, this whole Holocaust thing becomes a big thing. All right, so we watched the Ed Sullivan Show, 8 p.m. every Sunday night. It was a family ritual. My cousins were there, my brother, my sister, my dad. This was it. Ed Sullivan with the trapeze people and the ballets and the Jewish comedians and everything. So now Ed Sullivan, hey, we have a really big show tonight, and we have a Holocaust survivor. And we don't know what that is. A Holocaust survivor who is going to do a dramatization of what was like.
I only know this because of Hegelborg, where when you look up, she showed me this, where when you do the Ngram viewer for search terms and whatnot, like the term Holly, that shows up in like the 60s or 70s. Like an entire generation passed before it was even began to be called that.
And that's when they filtered it into the education system as well, basically.
To suffer in the Holocaust. All right, so it was
on the Ed Sullivan Show. This is like considered entertainment. Okay.
Yes, it was LEC. It was. I remember this so vividly. I'm like 14 at the time or 15, so vividly. Because here, listen to this. So now they have this makeshift cell, and there's a piece of bread in a corner. And Elie Wiesel, is holding his stomach, and he's hungry, and he's looking for the piece of bread. And there's a German Shepherd, and my dad says, "I'm not going to put up with his bull." The other word. He's a fraud. And my dad was that kind of person. He turns it off. Then he goes, to another room, and we just turn it right back on. And we want to see this guy. And it turned out later that maybe 20 years later, someone caught him walking in an orchard, a big field in France, in a short sleeve shirt. And he's expressing himself to his friends. There's no tattoo. He was never in Birkenau. Never. He's a liar.
Yeah. Wiesel, an appropriate name, I guess, is an incredible fraudster. He wrote this book, Night, that contains some of the most outrageous stuff, and it was taught in every single school because that's how we do.
Yeah.
So
let me real quick give you some little tattoo education over here. Okay. Now we have this guy, whatever his name is. I refuse to learn it. Okay. Very pro Mu. Okay. So he's flaunting this around from concentration camps to the White House. The Mooish people have never been defeated. Okay. I think they took some L's, but so we have Homath going, what year did they get those tattoos and how old were they when the photo was taken? Now, this is from 2025. Okay. Now, 95 and 85 are the ages of them. Okay.
Those are some amazing tattoos, man.
Which means that
no. But I'm just saying, right? Like, did the Snazzies have like amazing, like, not like, how many years is it? 80 years. Like, wouldn't it have just faded away? Like, I don't, I probably shouldn't question.
Time consuming to tattoo people as well. So this guy on the left, okay. The guy on the left, Michael Borstein, was tattooed in 1944 when he was 4 years old. Okay. Now, that I was curious. I'm like, why did they tattoo? If you're just so on one hand, they're just burning bodies left and right, gassing them, right?
Right.
But on the other hand, they're taking the time. Hold on, not yet. We have to put a tattoo on them before we incinerate them. So I'm like, wait a minute.
No. The tats were for logistical routing purposes, right? It's like how they knew like where to send people on the trains, and like IBM had like a whole logistics system. Like that's what they were for. So,
right.
Yeah,
okay.
Prisoner registration and tracking. There you go.
Right. And so they tattooed them, and now the tattoos provide a permanent, quick way to identify prisoners. Fair. Especially after they were stripped of clothing, belongings, and names. Each tattoo included a unique serial number assigned upon arrival. And so I'm assuming they had this database and they would check off that one was burned, so to speak. So I love this too. The Nazis ran camps with obsessive record keeping. This is very important to note, because if we don't have any proof of it, then we don't really have a narrative. The tattoos helped link prisoners to their files. Fair enough. Fair enough. 4 years old, and the thing looks the exact same, which I find incredible. So now, actually, it was...
Wait.
Yeah.
Go down.
Yeah.
It says that a bunch of them were not. Prisoners in other major camps, Dachau, Buchenwald, Treblinka, Sobibor, Belzec, and Chelmno, were generally not tattooed.
Yes.
ID relied on badges, numbers on clothing, or records.
Right.
Okay. So then
Now-
why do they all have tattoos?
They didn't all have them. Okay. Only some of them did. And it's mainly
Right.
the ones that went to Auschwitz. Okay.
Okay.
There's labor. Here we go. So upon arrival, efficiency of processing. Upon arrival, prisoners underwent selection. Those sent to immediate gassing, mostly the unfit, elderly, children, or mothers with young kids, were not tattooed. Which is interesting.
Okay.
Why would you tattoo the foot? Because, I mean, labor camps, you're looking for able-bodied men, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're an industrious people. What are you going to do with a baby? It's you're just going to let it starve, essentially. So on one hand, mostly the unfit, elderly, children, or mothers with young kids were not tattooed. Okay, now this guy got a tattoo at 4. Now I love this. It was painful. Yeah, okay, dude, relax. Some were tattooed on other body parts if arms were unsuitable. Infants and very young children selected for labor were sometimes tattooed on the thigh. Infants and very young children selected for labor sometimes were tattooed on the thigh. Now what's strange is he got this tattoo when he was 4. He just managed to survive, and we just accept that completely uncritically. I just thought that was fascinating. A little something to chew on, you know?
Mate, this is making my goy beam gland very, very uncomfortable. You got to stop this, mate. Okay, so we got a bit of Shmuley. I got to say, mate, the narrative is breaking down like in real time. Here's Shmuley trying to refute the tale of Onkelos in the Talmud. Right now, look, this is quite a fancy story in the Talmud. Onkelos basically does necromancy. Yeah, that kind of crap is like all through the Talmud, right?
Classic.
And he summons all of these sort of great men to ask them about the next world, right? So Onkelos at one point, I forget who else he summons. He summons like a few great figures from history, and he summons Jesus, right? And says to him, "What is the punishment of that man?" A euphemism for Jesus himself in the next world. Jesus said to him, "He is punished with boiling excrement." As the master said, anyone who mocks the words of the sages will be sentenced to boiling excrement, and this was his sin, as he mocked the words of the sages. So at least in Sanhedrin 59, Jesus's crime is that he mocked the sages. Okay.
Yeah.
And Rabbi Yohanan says a Gentile who engages in Torah study is liable to receive the death penalty, as it is stated. Moses commanded us a Torah, an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
Oh, they inherited it. Does that go along with the promise? This thing that they inherited? I thought they chose to be chosen.
I found out something like quite interesting. So did you know that if you teach the Talmud to Gentiles, you can be charged under theft, basically theft of knowledge and theft of inheritance.
Theft of knowledge.
Yeah, and I just want to point.
We hear
this
a
out.
lot of movie things. That one, I like that one a lot.
I just want to point out anyone who when they look at the Noahide laws and they're like, oh, well, actually, right, the 7 basic laws, like, who would want to do any of that kind of stuff? You have to remember that all of these laws are going to be interpreted by the most mooish judges and lawyers you can imagine, right? So that, when they say there's like a prohibition against murder, well, what really is murder? When we go to war, is that murder? Who can really say, right? So, these are not sort of laws the way that particularly the Christians would understand them, where they apply equally to everyone. That's not how that works.
Do Jews really believe that Jesus is boiling in semen and excrement? This is something that Candace Owens has been peddling, along with maybe Takar Carlson and Nick Fuentes, in an attempt, of course, to defame and libel the Jews. Candace is really psychotic and sick, but let's address this.
He was supposed to call him Tucker Carlson. He called him Tucker Carlson. He's not even he's not even doing any of these. I hate that I know that.
It's interesting that they still haven't come up with a good one for Fuentes, right? Like
and then,
what,
it makes no sense to have these nicknames for 2 of them and then just call him Nick Fuentes.
Like they call him Little Mustache Man, but like that's not really going
Little
to
Hitler or something like that. Yeah.
I still think Candace Owens is by far the best one, right?
Just from a pun standpoint, that's easily the best one.
Candace Owens.
The problem with listening to conspiracy theorists, especially when they're deeply anti-Semitic and uncontrollable, vile Jew haters like Candace, is that they have no scholarship behind them. They don't know anything. Candace can't even pronounce basic English words. You've seen that countless times. So let me educate you. The Talmud was written, the Mishnah, 2,000 years ago, the Talmud about 1,500 years ago. There was a mention that a Yeshu, which is roughly translated as Jesus, is being punished by boiling and excrement. That Yeshu, that is not the Jesus of Christianity.
Now, this is a total lie.
I
right?
love this. It's not the Jesus of Christianity. It's a different Jesus.
That is very well, expressed by this story, right? Onkelos is summoning through necromancy important figures from history to ask them questions, right? He's not summoning, right, like, oi, I tell you what, could you just like summon like Bob from New Jersey? Hey, Bob.
He was summoning Jesus. It was a Mexican guy.
Yeah. Jesus. What's the afterlife like? I don't know, man. I'm so tired. So sleepy. I just want to get a cerveza.
Why did you wake me up?
Why you wake me up?
Now you told me.
And this is from Chabad. Onkelos then went and raised Jesus the Nazarene. That's how he is referred to. He is the Nazarene. From the grave through necromancy, Onkelos said to him, who is most important in that world where you are now? Jesus said to him, the Jewish people. What a surprise. Onkelos asked him, should I then attach myself to them in this world? Jesus said to him, their welfare you shall seek, their misfortune you shall not seek, for anyone who touches them is regarded as if he were touching the apple of his eye. Onkelos then said to him, what is the punishment of that man? A euphemism for Jesus himself in the next world. Jesus said to him, he is punished with boiling excrement. So, I mean, this is the point, right? Like the Torah is literally just available online now. You can just, right? And there is some discussion about like whether the version that you get online is even like the proper, really spicy version, because back in the medieval times, like one of the reasons why the Moors developed this sort of like code writing stuff is because whenever this stuff got out, the Christians took a very, very poor view of it. So a lot of the time they would go through and edit bits out, or like, add in sort of like metaphors and stuff like that. And suppose that there is like an acronym for this, with like 4 layers of understanding. I think I saved it somewhere, but
right. Well, the issue for them as well is that there's a curation of information as well. So before you would hear a rabbi say something, you would miraculously know someone that's read the Torah. You would talk to them. It would be so much distance of those pieces of information coming together. Now we literally have him saying it, and it's in the thread that can be readily shared. They've never had to encounter this before, right?
Well, this is, you raise a really interesting point, Ardy, because traditionally what would happen if you're talking about like people like Eisenmenger, Pfefferkorn, these were Moors who either pretended that they were going to join Moodyism, or converted from Moodyism to Christianity and brought their learning over to the Christians. In this case, there isn't a person teaching others about this per se. It's not like someone like Eisenmenger, who spent like 7 years saying that he was going to convert, and then read all this stuff, and then went back to the Christians. It's just the internet. So who do they hold responsible for this? You know what I mean, right? Like, is the internet to be charged with theft of inheritance, right? Is the internet a Moser? Is the internet Mooish in the first place? So many.
Well, it's specifically X. It's specifically that because it's mainstream. And so when this was relegated to message boards, they could say that's 4chan, right? Which you see them trying to sell you the name of X now. Don't get me wrong. X is a cesspit, but any free speech zone is going to be just that. I mean, yes.
It sounds honestly like the kind of question you'd need like a rabbi to answer, right? like do you say that Musk is responsible, right, for because he's responsible for X, and so therefore he's responsible, but Musk is a Gentile, so he can't be responsible for like being a Moser because he right? I mean, I don't know, right? Like I await the judgment of the Sanhedrin on this one.
At all. At the time, 500 years earlier, so this is written 1,500 years ago, 500 years before that, 2,000 years ago, when Jesus of Nazareth lived, Yeshu was probably the most common Jewish name in existence. You can easily verify that by going to the Israel Museum, the greatest museum in Israel in Jerusalem,
right,
where you will actually see ossuaries, which are ancient coffins with the name Yeshu all over the place. You can also see it just from ancient Jewish sources, even from Josephus, who was a traitor to the Jewish people, or Tacitus. Yeshu was a very common name. In fact, a book called Seder HaDorot, the book of genealogy, lists 22 major Jesus figures. Now, the Jesus of Nazareth, who founded Christianity, kind of, he didn't really found Christianity. St. Paul founded Christianity. I've explained it many times. In my book, Jesus, that's undeniable from the New Testament. Jesus had no idea what Christianity was. He was a practicing Orthodox Pharisaic Jew who looked like me, better looking than me, but the yarmulke, etc. Jesus of Nazareth cannot be the Yeshu, that Yeshu who's being discussed as being punished by boiling an excrement, because the dates are off by at least 15, 20 years at a time. 20 years.
Excuse me?
So they are, okay, so let's steel man his argument so far. So someone is boiling an excrement. It's just not the Jesus that we're talking about, right?
The Talmud wasn't freaking written until like 400 AD. Like, what the fuck is, oh my God, this is just so.
They're Orthodox. Okay, I'm sorry. I keep doing this. There's Orthodox Christian and there's fundamentalist moo. Their fundamentalists get to lie over and over again because they're talking to Gentiles. This is built into it. Which is funny because fundamentalist Muslims are allowed to do the same thing, so they might as well be called fundamentalists and not Orthodox.
Sorry, I got to find out who else
it was. He's proper pissed now, fellas. I can hear him clacking in the background. He's proper pissed now, fellas.
Because I remember reading like this story, right, about how Onkelos like summoned all these like people from the dead, and he was basically like saying, I think the whole thing was he was trying to figure out whether he should ally with the Moos or not. Sorry, it's not in the Torah, it's in the Talmud, right? Oh, you got it totally confused. Yeah, but the story is like real, right?
Made a huge difference, and then the difference of whether or not the Sanhedrin, the Jewish High Court, was still using capital punishment, who the Roman proconsul was. It wasn't Pontius Pilate, etc. There are so many issues discussed in the Talmud that we don't even know half of them. So let me be clear. The Yeshu who the Talmud says is pouring an excrement, which of course is a hyperbolic figurative, is some Yeshu who betrayed the Jewish people to the Romans. Jesus of Nazareth did the exact opposite. He was put to death by the Romans because he stood up for the Jews, because he claimed to be the king of the Jews, which is why, on top of the crucifixion, which was only a Roman death.
So I'm sorry. So it was, how does he know it was hyperbolic? So then what was it? If it was boiling an excrement was just hyperbolic, then what actually happened?
Right. So, okay. So, besides Titus, his uncle, Onkelos summoned two others from the dead in the famous Talmudic story, Gittin 56b. So it's not Sanhedrin. It's Gittin 56b. Sorry, Mooish bros. Mm-hmm. Balaam, the non-Jewish prophet from the Torah. So not just Jesus from New Jersey. From and Yeshu, Jesus the Nazarene. Okay. Right. Like, as you know, I'm just saying, bro.
Dude,
right?
Viciously lying constantly, and then no matter how much you confront them, under a court of law, they'll still lie again. Then there's Mooish lawyers there, and then this is all throughout history right now. that they'll lie to your face and they'll lie. It's so persistent.
In the narrative,
These are their holy men. These are the men of their cloth, by the way.
Onkelos raises each one via sorcery and asks the same 3 questions. 1, who is most honored in the world to come? All 3 answer the Muish people, Israel. What a surprise. 2, should Onkelos join them? And 3, what is your own punishment in the afterlife? Titus, the first summon, who is his uncle, warns Onkelos not to convert. His punishment is that his ashes are burned daily and scattered over the sea. Balaam, the second, Balaam is a non-Jewish prophet from the Torah, also advises against converting. His punishment is boiling in hot semen.
Okay.
Imagine this. No,
it's and he called it a hyperbole. It's like, well, then, okay, can we say that about the holly then? I love how you can just hand wave something. It's hyperbole.
Yeshu, Jesus, the third, advises Onkelos to seek the welfare of the Moors and not to harm them. His punishment is boiling in hot excrement for having mocked the words of the sages.
This is exactly what you said before reading this.
So I don't know what to tell you, bros. I don't know what to tell you.
That was receipt after receipt right there.
Yeah. And okay, we're just going to finish off this segment with this. This went over time. We'll have to skip Lindsay's fashy Mein Kampfiness. We can save it for another one. Check this out, bros. Wait, actually, hang on. It plays the clip twice for some weird reason. Here we go. Let's start it here.
I just conquered Taiwan. I will trade some Fast and Furious with you if you will give me some microchips. It's not your turn. Wait for your turn. I wonder who could that be? Kanye West? Hold on, you guys. Listen. Look, I know how I cheated y'all. I done said and did some messed up shit, y'all, for real. But I want to do better. I want to be one of you guys now. What should we do? We can't trust him. We just can't. Elder seine Lechem. What says you? I'm sorry.
Oh!
You
Wow.
Oh, mate. I love shit like that. Right. So, okay, let's skip the Lindsay fashy thing. I think you've got Lindsay posting now, right? Should we do a few super chats before we go?
Yes, and mine's quick. I got them all time stamped.
Okay. Ardent Party, 3 months membership. Thank you, Ardent. Mate, best mod in the business. This guy, right? Like an invaluable part of the team. You should check out his stuff. Ardent plays on Rumble, Ardent Party on X. He's a good lad. I'm always extremely suspicious of the moose who convert and then become anti-citric. Strikes me as an op of one kind or another. Find me on X or Rumble. Well, I mean, not historically speaking, not really. Some of the most sort of crazy events out of history have arisen from like just this, actually. Isaac for $5. Hey, Isaac.
I like it.
Indeed, Fist, fellow man of culture, total EFN, ERN, EFJ, and HFJ. Did you, by happenstance, bang Aiden with spoon watching? You sound like you would do that. Oh, no.
My God. See,
come
there
on,
it is.
bro.
The door has been opened. Where did this even come from? The spoon thing. I covered that like a month ago?
Oh, look, Aiden is
incredible.
Is lovely. No, that's highly inappropriate. Like I would joke about Fuentes, but no.
Being gay.
Aiden,
You would joke about being gay. You wouldn't joke about fucking a guy's wife. My word, with these fellas. Have some decency. I joke about that.
I actually know Aiden.
Yeah, and I don't exactly. That's why.
It's totally different, right?
Right.
Like no. Aramate discourse for $5. Lent for Catholics and Orthodox is over. Guess what I can do now? My super duper wholesome chungus secularists. That's right. Insult people again. Nice
Dude,
to have you back now,
I have
mate.
been loving this during Lent, where I would, he still showed up, and I was covering things that were really easy to make fun of, and you had to like compliment them in a super chat. It was been, I'm gonna look back very fondly on those times. He couldn't do it. He wasn't allowed to.
Asher Genius for $5. I don't know if either have one, but which is your favorite fantasy moo? For me, it's a toss up between Harry Potter Goblins and Star Trek's Ferengi. Oh, I don't know.
Fantasy moo. I like Roy Cohn. I like the prosecutor of his own people. Okay, he got the Rosenbergs on espionage, and it was the only executions during peacetime because they leaked the secrets of the Manhattan Project to the Soviets. And so there was the Red Scare. There was also the Lavender Scare, where he was accusing all of the gays of being commies, and he himself was gay. Okay, he is a legendary duplicitous moo that did a lot during the McCarthy era.
Well, he's not a fantasy. He's real, but I don't know.
I know,
I can't,
but that reality right there, okay, it's hard. It's hard for me to top.
Deadpool Kid for $5. Hello, my fellow moos. you know, I often wonder, would moos panic if the anti-mooism calmed down? Would they be like, we're not being talked about? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Hard to say.
They assume the trees that fall and don't make a noise are talking about them. Okay, that never shuts off.
Good point. The Cheap Chimp for $10. If that's not a goblin physiognomy, I don't know what is. Hey, mate,
that's on purpose. That is intentional antagonization. I think we can all agree on that. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Super chat's achieved. Handing over to you, Ardy. Take it away.
All right. Okay. So James Lindsay, what is this? Cultural trends and educational shifts with James Lindsay. Okay. This is very recent. I think this is at a church.
I can't believe I missed this. It must have been gripping.
And it's 3 hours, so I'm going to have us watch this at 25% speed to make sure we understand everything. So actually going to be a 12-hour stream right now. I'm kidding. I have 4 timestamps. It's not going to take that long. But James Lindsay is at it again.
Embarrassing me. Wow. But thank you all for coming. I would love to tell you I'm excited to be in California, but I'm in California. Still catching up here with Charlie on the screen. It's still weird. I'm one of the people in the world has the maybe very fortunate, I suppose we'll get to that point, opportunity to say that, you guys probably think of Charlie as a major and important figure, and he was just my best friend.
He is claiming that Charlie Kirk was his best friend, dude.
Is this like Isaiah Carter?
Kind of like they had this weird thing with friends, right?
James is my friend. Mate, he wouldn't fucking. Oh, God. Okay, right.
Like, it would be like, I don't know, if me or you, like, died, and then me or you said that, like, your best friend, right? It would be like, well, I didn't know they were that close, or like, this is public knowledge they were not that close, okay?
Right.
While Charlie Kirk was alive, okay, James Lindsay was not invited to Turning Point for like a year, and he cried about it.
What you've got to sort of like take into account, Ardy, is if like say if you were killed, right? How much clout could I get grifting off your corpse?
It's unbelievable.
It's just oh my God, man!
Using the man's body as social capital. Now, Now getting James Lindsay, fellas, isn't cheap. Okay. And what better place to get these funds to afford James Lindsay than in the confines of a church?
Her research and everything percolate back up to the top in national education policy and DC and all of that. But I just wanted to take a brief moment here before James comes back up and take a quick offering. It does cost to run a ministry like this, to print the flyers, to be able to bring in these speakers, to be able to provide the scholarships for our Standing on the Word students. And so we would really appreciate your giving this evening. Everything goes right back into the ministry and into bringing out speakers like James, like Kelly, and to bring a speaker of...
What do you think it cost? We have to be able to find that, right? That information has to be somewhere. How much it costs to get James Lindsay to come out and speak somewhere?
I could ask Grok. I mean, look, I know
Yes.
isn't a church service, but he's kind of framing it like that. I find this a little distasteful. Look, I don't know whether it's just like an Orthodox thing, right? But you know, usually you just pass the basket. But again, this isn't a religious service. I don't know. It kind of icks me.
Well, it's to raise money for the church, and it's mixing both together, right? It's for
that's right.
Scholarships that they offer for people within the church, and also to afford speakers. So it's for money for them to do whatever they want to do with the money. But then they're going to categorize bringing James Lindsay there as being for the church. Okay.
Okay. So did you check out their website?
No, I didn't. You want to take that for a second?
Yeah. Standing free, informing, equipping, serving, proclaim the truth to redeem the culture. Oh God, the way.
What are the upcoming events?
Lops as a freaking Christian, it's really starting to get on my.
Oh, he tells you how to be.
Okay,
we're skipping over it. He tells you how to be a Christian in that. Just so you know, I'm skipping over it. In a church.
If you want to hear me like kick off, I can't fucking play that bit. What do we got? Is like a
live in concert. Oh, a concert worship. Terrific.
The agenda continues understanding today's cultural and spiritual battle. Why is
politicized church for your liturgy, right? I mean, that's in right now. Isn't that a good trend?
So this is the. Oh, you can't click on it. Oh, I see. No, you can click on the video.
Yeah, there it is.
But not the hidden war, the coming Islamic threat to America, testimony night. Oh, this is fucking cringe. I'm sorry.
Why is it okay? Well, we'll cover that in the next segment with Tucker. Okay.
Look, I don't want to hate on the Protestants, but like
it seems to be like very infiltratable, right?
Oh, mate,
that would be the main criticism. Okay,
Chloe Cole, where the fuck is this place? Where is this place?
Dox him right now. Let's show him. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, disavow. We
want to find out where they are.
Well,
what's the matter where they are?
No, I don't look, man. Even if they're Protestants, I don't want like fuckwits turning up and like messing with their worship.
So, but they have VIP meet and greets. Okay, they need you to give them money, right? So then you can give them more money with a donation for a VIP meet and greet. What do you think of that?
A suggested $50 donation allows attendees to enjoy refreshments, meet our guest speaker.
And take a photo with them. Okay.
Is paying for access like a Christian virtue? I just, mate, I don't know.
All right, give me this
testimony night
stuff. You're getting caught up right now.
Testimony night. I bet that's a fucking rocking great time.
A movie night. Okay, they're just having fun, but they need a general pool of money to do all these things. You know.
Look at the people they've.
I still can't believe Eric Metaxas is siding with James Lindsay. I thought he was not going to be on James Lindsay's side when he was actually pushing back against him, but the hooks are in deep. That still surprises me.
Okay, I gotta ask what, right?
All right, I'll let you do that in the meantime while I'm scooting this along right now.
This caliber is very, very neat to be able to bring him here to Standing Free, and so we are blessed to do that. And we love to bring in speakers that. So if you'd like to come
out, fellas. What you should know about James Lindsay, okay, is he's an author. Now he's coming out with another book that he's been working on since 2023, and that book is coming out. Get ready, this summer, okay, or August, or maybe September, okay, but it's coming out. It's gonna be coming out. Yep,
I found it.
What do you got?
Wait, hang on. So he's listed on Public Speakers like website, $5,000 to $10,000.
That's
Right?
what the church funds are going to. For a man that won't, you know what? Let's do it. For a man that refuses to tell you what religion he even believes in.
Decided nobody needs to know what my religion is any longer, and I'll never tell anybody again.
Okay? So that
but he did. He did. He said he once again said that he was agnostic. right? Which means like, you know,
you
you
see
would
my
think,
issue with agnostics as an atheist. Okay, it's
you
so
would think
squirmy.
for someone who hangs out in church that much, supposedly, right? And like, you know, he's always reading the fucking Bible from a critical perspective, right? Like something might have like touched him deep in his like dark gremlin soul, but I guess not.
Now, fellows, are you ready for this book?
Thank you so much, Kelly and James. James, really quick. Kelly, I mean,
You can tell she knows a little bit. I have been writing another book. I actually started it in 2023, and I went back and forth to it. But it's a book about, I would say, political warfare, but it's actually more about.
Okay, so James Lindsay is going to be releasing a book about political warfare, and I can hear fists salivating from across the pond. Okay.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
remember how? But that's not all. Remember how Jordan Peterson had like what the 12 rules for life, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You got tight 12 rules. I mean, it's 2 more than God, so Peterson's like technically, right? Yeah, they do say brevity is the soul of wit, right?
Yes.
So you know, Peterson really should try to get it down for like 10, you know. But
Right.
how many is Lindsay got?
Well, because if you have a bunch of rules, it kind of removes the need for the rules, right? When you have too many rules, like it's kind of mooey, don't you think, to make up a bunch of rules? You should have like very clearly defined rules and a small set of rules as a great
Principles. No, what you need is a clearly defined set of principles.
You're correct. All right, let's see what his prescriptions are going to be in this upcoming book about political warfare.
Narrative warfare, or what the Chinese military strategy, the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, calls public opinion warfare. So I'm writing a book about that. I'm hoping to have it out by this summer, probably late August, maybe about then, maybe September if things take a little longer to finish. But it's a very long book. It's a very different book. The book is an introduction to the subject, and then it is actually 72 principles by which you can live in order to, anybody can live in order.
72. Chapters is the book gonna be? You know it's gonna be so. You know the book is gonna be like 15,000 words, and he's gonna be so proud of that before anything else, right? You have to realize that 72 principles, all of them needed, all of them necessary.
Every single one as necessary.
Can't wait for that. And now, this is gonna be the transitional portion, and I'm gonna kick it to you after this.
Evil and so obviously destructive that we set as a kind of moral foundation that we're not going to go there. Well, who are they allowed to hate? Jews. Every conservative who doesn't agree with them. Apparently Protestants who are now, according the latest off the presses called X, the latest off the presses is that all Protestants.
The latest off the presses. So if anyone says something on X, okay, it's equivalent. Everything's a unit to him, a unit of measurement. Someone said it on X, that's enough for him. That's off the presses. That's an actual legitimate news outlet to him for some reason.
Right, but aren't all of these people like big believers in democracy? And isn't the whole point of fucking democracy to like express the popular will? Isn't X like literally the most democratic platform that like ever existed? I mean, how do they square the fucking circle on this? They really believe in like a sort of, I think was it like Aristotelian or Platonic version of democracy, where like only sort of the intellectuals, I guess, get to vote, right? Like Lindsay's not interested in hearing in your unwashed opinions.
Well, I know, but we also got liberalism from Protestantism, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
are liberals,
and
right?
Just work that out. This is that all Protestants are liberals. Just work that out, because the Reformation, 1517 was basically yesterday. You're just another libtard if you believe in the low church. If you believe that a man with critical thinking skills can read the Bible for himself, exegete it.
There we go. I know.
You don't believe? Like, just shut the fuck up.
What?
You don't believe in any of this, James, right? As far as I can tell without reading your mind based on what you fucking say, you believe that religion is just a social ordering mechanism, and that the only difference in utility between religions is like how well they socially order society. You read a whole fucking book on how like people need to be like relieved of their faith, which, people keep telling me that he has recanted, but I cannot find any reference to him actually doing so.
But what mechanism is it with Orthodox Christians where they don't run with their own interpretation of the Bible but it seems like Protestants have a higher tendency to do that.
That's sola scriptura, and it was like a big part of the Reformation.
I've heard Andrew Wilson bring that up a lot, where you already know where you're able to interpret it.
I mean, to be fair to the Protestants, the Catholic Church at the time was very, very deeply corrupt and was sort of like massively abusing its position by being like, oh, you know, we're the only people who like know the Bible. So, I mean, the Catholic Church at the time of the Reformation was doing crazy shit like indulgences where you could just buy your way out of like sins. And like it was notoriously corrupt.
It's very Connecticut influenced.
So I kind of like I understand the point of the Protestants, but then you wind up through sola scriptura with all of these weird.
How do you tell them they're wrong?
Right. I mean, okay, right. Like let's just take the Anabaptists for an example. Okay, right. So the Anabaptists, right, basically their whole beef was that children, when they were baptized, could not choose to be baptized. Therefore, their faith was not a choice freely made. And so, therefore, they thought infant baptism was wrong. Part of this, of course, was there was a great gulf between the Protestants and the Catholics. So they wanted people to wait, you know, until they could like choose to be either Protestant or Catholic. It just basically meant like any person like Russell Brand.
You set it up. You're setting up the clip.
Could just pick up a Bible. No, I'm not gonna play it because I feel I don't. He's got Tucker's like shilling this book of his, and it's like 7 days to be a Christian. Or when I first heard about it, I'm like, it takes more than 7 days. But then I looked into it, and he doesn't literally mean 7 days. It's more like it would be more appropriately titled 7 Steps to Become a Christian. And I don't, as much as I disagree vehemently with this whole idea of like you become a Christian and then you start baptizing other people in a swimming pool, I also can't really like Brand used to be like a massive horrible degenerate and had like real problems, and if Christianity has helped him, I don't really want to like who among us
we get it. You're right again, dude. Okay,
like I can't see into Russell Brand's heart, right, and be like, you know, oh, he doesn't believe. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, sola scriptura has created all these really, really weird offshoots because you need some kind of institutional force to sort of enforce some kind of like doctrine, basically.
Well, it just makes it seem really easy to be infiltrated. That like,
absolutely, absolutely.
It removes the guardrail at that point.
Yeah. And if you have, let's say, a group of people who are very, very skilled at manipulating language, fortunately, there aren't any people like that. It opens up sort of avenues for like incredible subversion. And, you know, if you're not careful, you might wind up with something like Christian Zionism.
But this is why I like Joel Webbin, because he's a Protestant, right? And so it would take a Protestant to kind of clean up their own house, essentially, right? So he's probably taking a deeply unpopular Protestant stance, criticizing the mood. There must be a lot that agree with the moves. So I do appreciate that he's doing that, because who else can really do it but a Protestant themselves?
The trad Lutherans, a Protestant, right? I think Luther quite famously had big beef with the moves. I don't want to. I just, you know, but Lutheranism, like trad Lutheranism, is very, very different to like they still have a liturgy. They're not like rock up to my swimming pool and have some grape juice and a biscuit. Right. I went to when I was still trying to like find Christianity, and we were going to like churches around here. We went to this like one, and it was literally grape juice, like, and not a biscuit, like not like, you know, like a chalky biscuit, but just like it had no soul, it had no aura, right? There was no.
Are you saying aura like a Zoomer or aura like Unk?
Bit of both. Bit of both, honestly, right? Like it had no, in the Zoomer context, it had no aura in the sense that there was no majesty, no presence, right? No drip, right? But in the Unk sense, there was also no light, no grace, no energy. So I would be
wow, very nice, dude.
There you go. Yeah.
So you want to do podcasts for us since we're halfway through?
Oh yeah, fuck, we better. Fucking
yeah.
Oh my god, mate, this has been fun. Okay, so. All right, so we'll skip over Lindsay talking about fascism.
Sure.
Okay, so MAGA is basic. Wait, should we do like super chats before we get into this? Like,
Sure.
hang on, we got a few more. Isaac for $5. Sorry, Fist, didn't mean to be so crazy about Aiden. If you would permit and accept my apologies, I will give you the golden HFJ link. It's fine, Isaac, and mate,
it's,
I would.
It's
I
uncomfortable publicly to hear that, right?
I would love
that.
I would love that link. I'm actually very enamored of like Isaac's music taste. He gave me a link to like his secret racist funk playlist. It's
very nice.
Fucking great, mate. Thank you, Isaac. Appreciate that, mate. King Spectre for $5. What's wrong with his face? Did he get stung by a swarm of hornets?
Dude, I have to. Usually I can look at someone's picture, remember who it is. At this point, I can't. King Spectre's picture is changing every single time, and it's widely different every time.
That's the new.
I was like, who the hell is that? Look at the size of the forehead. How does that happen?
The new fastest man in the world. Straight out of Australia. He's well, he's not indigenous because that's an African. That's not an Abo, right?
Well, no, he
But,
is
like,
indigenous.
people-
That's why his skin's dark. He's like an Abo, right? He's been there for
No.
so long.
No. Abos a very, very different look. That's
Oh, you don't say.
If I had to make a guess, I would say he was from like Ghana or something like that. Isaac again for $5. He was my friend. Well, I'm friends with Mustache Man and Himmler, but I do like kind of see them in visions in the woods by the lake in nature.
Dude, how
Oh,
disgusting
God.
is that to say I was his best friend? Everyone has to know that's not true.
Look,
Oh my god!
He's changed it again. He is the profile picture chameleon, bros. To watch the culture, do not redeem, sir. Do not redeem. Yes, we will. There will be no redeeming, sir. Theodore McCarthy for $5. Hey, Theodore. I converted to Orthodoxy in part because having no clear doctrine and tradition makes Protestantism very vulnerable to heresy. Precisely. Yeah. Well said, mate. Thank
That's what it feels like from my vantage point.
you. King Spectre for $5. It costs a lot to bring in a speaker of James's caliber. No, not caliber. A speaker of his calories. Quite a lot of catering.
Dude, 5,000 like that. Well, wasn't this the criticism of Hillary Clinton? Like, why are you getting paid X amount of money to go and speak? Why is he getting paid money to go and speak?
Right. But is that $5K on top of travel expenses? Is the question, right? Because if you say you want to fly him out to, the luxurious Dallas Airport Hilton.
I know, but like this church is losing money if they're paying him $5,000. Okay.
Well, you don't know that, right? Like they
It's
could,
not that full. It's not that full,
mate. They could be getting fat Protestant stacks, right? They could be like, you need to pledge for some.
Nope. My ego can't handle that. I'm gonna prefer the comfort of the own delusion of my own lie to myself right now. Okay. Nope.
Okay,
I refuse
fair enough.
to believe it.
Fair enough. Jam for $50. Holy crap.
Hello.
Thank you very much, Jam. Hey guys, the gas grape factory has been brutal. Coming home to an Ardy and Fist stream makes my day. Jam, you got to get another job, mate.
Jammy,
right?
baby.
It's your bum's gonna be like it's gonna be wrecked, son. Right?
And just like that, fellas, we have our first Chad
Now
of
the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Thank you so much, Jammy baby. Very much appreciated.
Look, Jam. I just hope you can lay in some lubricant or something. Get a nice like hemorrhoid pillow or something. That sounds like a terrible job.
The factory, right? Right. Look, it's a factory job nowadays.
Thanks very much, Jam. Lost Remembrance for $5. The latest off the press is X, if that is their real name. Oh my god. I got this for $10. James Lindsay makes friends like I get girlfriends. She's my girlfriend. She just doesn't know it yet.
Dude, that is a ruthless. That is absolutely heartless and true. Yeah, I'm sure Charlie knew they were best friends. That's a good one.
And Christos gifted 5 memberships.
Rob.
Thanks very
Fellas,
much, Christos.
Very unique, one of a kind content behind the paywall. We got lore videos of your boy Ardy talking about how the world seemed in 2017, 2018, 2019. A lot of criticizing the blacks from back then before I knew about the moose. Thanks much in part to Fist. And sometimes we brigade another person's stream. Whether or not that's ethical, you can watch that. It's the Isaiah L. Carter series, 2 behind the paywall, 1 in front of the paywall, because at a certain point, everyone just had to see the amount of fun that we have doing that. So be on the lookout for that. New Hard R fellers.
I still feel a bit bad about that, but
I know.
It was funny.
Feeling good feels bad sometimes.
Okay. So, Trump has rounded on the podcasters. They won't shut up. They keep, they keep like saying stuff. And now the people who have bled the most for him are being thrown under the bus. And this is like very, very bad. Of course, from Trump's point of view, right, he's got all he needs, right? All he needs is the moose, right? As long as he's got that sweet, sweet buttery kipper, he doesn't need your vote. I don't need your votes. I don't need your podcasters. Fuck Alex Jones, that goddamn degenerate. Fuck Candace Owens. Fuck Tucker Carlson. I've got the moose, and that's all I need. As long as I'm close to Israel.
Well, I mean, can we agree they pressured him that like he had to make a statement, like because they selfishly are like, oh, dude, that's gonna make them so mad to have the president say like fuck them, because why would he even waste his time with us otherwise?
They've been trying to do it for ages. If you go back and like watch our stuff, I think I said like a couple of months ago that this is what they wanted from Trump. They wanted him to denounce these people, but it's like what's it supposed to do? This is what I don't understand. Israel is becoming such a huge liability.
Like bipartisan, the left and the right are starting to like get a little friendly with each other about Israel.
Actually, I've got a clip on this. I'll see if I can like dig it up. Like basically, like if the Moos were a political party, they would now be basically like the most unpopular political party in America. Their support is just collapsing, for no fault of their own. Obviously, that's the tragic thing, right?
I'm just going to scorch earth Trump to getting back on track. Only way to do it is to go after him viciously. You've already shed all over me. And if you try to rub it in, I just, at that point, I don't care anymore. So if you think I've been coming after you, if you think that I'm trying to get clicks by attacking you so the Democrats that don't buy anything from me and don't like me want to put me in jail, if you think I've been on your ass, say one more thing. One more thing out of your mouth.
Quick. It's really just 2 old men fighting with each other, dude. The say, like, our generation doesn't do say one more thing, okay? That is like an old school thing. Say one more thing, like the counting to 3, like say one more thing. He already fucking wrote you off and said everything he had to say about you, okay? Tell me that you're happy that I went bankrupt one more time. He already said it to you. Call my family a butt. Yeah, well, that should be the line. The line was already crossed, Alex. Okay, one more time.
Where's the tweet? I think it's in the Clandis one. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I'll have to dig through my
just play this.
Thing.
Play this. And
oh no, here we go. No, sorry, wait, I skipped one. Okay, right, no, it's fine. Right, I got it slightly out of order. Okay.
Ending this. Okay. One more thing. When I've gone through hell back in your ass because you were the lesser of 2 evils, then I'm going to show you how the cow ate the cabbage. Do one more thing.
I'm going to show you how the cow ate the cabbage.
Come
on. Hold on there, buddy.
You should be kissing my ass. But instead,
oh, that's a horrible image.
You shit all over me and rub it in. I'm not looking for a fight, but if you want one, you came to the right place.
It's a lot of ass stuff. A lot of ass, a lot of shit, a lot of rubbing in the shit.
Hand gestures.
I'm like a rattlesnake. They're not really aggressive snakes. Water moccasins come after you and bite you. Cobras come after you. I'm like rattlesnakes trying to get away. I'm like, hey, leave me alone. Hey, please don't step on me. God, that really hurts. Please stop. Oh, your daddy's over here. Let me step on your mommy. Let me step on your kids. And I'm just like, all right. I'm like Darth Vader looking at Palpatine, looking like Skywalker. I'm like, all right. I'm going to politically throw you down the reactor shaft in 2 seconds.
Do you
and just say, does Alex Jones?
I want to see like beforehand what ends up on the cutting room floor where Harrison Smith's like, I don't think we should do that. I would love to see what does not go his into the show.
Love? No, I don't. You think I'm intimidated by you, Trump, the president of the United States? Think I'm intimidated by your hit teams, all the rest of it? Whatever, man. You got God to deal with. I want to focus on the midterms, the Democrats. I want to promote what's good you're doing. And I want to be left alone.
Yeah, good luck with that, Alex. Like,
yeah, right. Draw all that
like,
attention.
yeah, he's just, they're gonna leave you. Are you fucking kidding me, mate?
Well, that's so old man to go, hey, everyone on the internet, leave me alone. don't you never want to do that.
Is this? I think this is Clandis Ovens. So this is the tweet, right? Like this is the tweet, right? Where like Trump like just tortures everyone, right? Megyn Kelly, Clandis Ovens, Alex Jones, Marjorie Taylor Greene, everyone, all of those people who like bled out for him. He like, you know, fuck you now, right? Because you ain't down with the moves. It's crazy, mate. It is just crazy.
Well, everyone found this out about James Lindsay, and then Trump started to all of a sudden start agreeing really with whatever James Lindsay was saying, which no one should ever do, let alone the leader of the free world.
You know, I don't know. I feel like I wonder if James actually thought these ideas up by himself, or whether they were just laundered through him. Or is he like exactly the kind of Shabbos midwit that they were looking for?
Oh, there's no way. Hold on. I can't believe that you would say something like that about James Lindsay.
That's Israel Chai.
Okay? Respect on the man's name.
Have no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump. Was that written by Mark Levin, like when he was 6? Or who put this message together? The hottest country in the world because we're bombing kids for no reason, because we just killed 150 schoolgirls for no reason, because you guys just lied about 6 of our servicemen who died, and they had to leak that to CBS News, that you were lying about what was happening. Is that what makes us hot? Is Hot Girl Summer being led by Brigitte Macron and people who attack other journalists for telling the truth?
Oh yeah, he also said in the tweet that that Brigitte Macron was like more attractive than Candace Owens.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, what's going on? Who put this message together for you and hit send? You're citing CNN, but you're also dissing CNN for having produced certain polls. I don't know. You just told us that we couldn't get on CNN, but now you're.
Yeah, it's funny how as soon as CNN says one nice thing about him, suddenly they're not fake news anymore.
It's the left's criticism of Trump that he's really going in on right now. If you just say anything nice about him, he'll agree with you, and then the moves really showcase that.
God, I hate that they were right about that. Oh, God damn.
You're saying that we have good coverage on CNN. You're all over the place. It seems like you can't put together a coherent thought. Let me tell you something, and this is just reality, okay? Going back to just the rules of the jungle, okay? Let all the politicians and advisors around you evaporate for just a moment. Just you and me, ready? People will not fight beside, behind, or for someone who is fundamentally disloyal, okay? If disloyalty and deceit is in your nature, then I highly suggest that you combine it with silence.
Fuentes called all of this. Right.
Look at, that, look at that face right there. King Spectre, I hope you're watching right now. Her eyes are getting further and further apart right now.
There are a lot of people now basically like saying like Fuentes was right, you know, and he was. He called it fucking early, right? This was going to be like, yeah, this is I call this the Somalian smuggly.
Yep. And just like that, put another finger in Fuentes' pucker. He was right. Okay.
Look at me. I am the MAGA now.
You're right, dude. That's just too good.
You can be what you are, but I would advise you do it quietly, Trump, because MAGA is no longer commanded by you, and you know it. You know it. You belong to the Epstein class. That is your legacy now. People will see your name on buildings, whatever was agreed upon in those boardrooms. Jared Kushner, Trump, Gaza, hotel, whatever you tweeted, so crass. They will see that. You will earn that. And then when they see it, they will think about how many children had to die or be raped by men on islands so that you could stick the Trump name upon a building. And for clarity, Mr. President, that's not my fault. That's not Megyn Kelly's fault. That's not Tucker Carlson's fault. You made that trade. You chose money above respect. And what an absolute shame that you chose to do that toward the end of your life. Okay, because
toward the end of your life,
stuff with you when you go, just your soul.
Well, he is fucking old, man.
I know, but that's rhetorically a really smooth way of saying that. Acting concerned. I really enjoy the rhetorical strategies of Tucker and Candace, right?
Yeah. I mean, these are weird people to make enemies of, like for real. Like, just, I mean, oh, man, I don't. This is the thing, man. Right? America, in my opinion, has very, very serious war fatigue. Like, war fatigue is like a thing, right? Like, you can't just the promise was always that by having a volunteer army, you can wage endless war, but you can't, right? Waging war, like, takes a toll upon the population. It's and everyone's like, oh no, you know, the United States can't get war fatigue. Any country, if they are at war for long enough, will get war fatigue. Yes. That's what's basically happening. And I think a lot of Americans, they don't even know it because, you know, militarism is so baked into, like, particularly boomer America. The idea that they could ever get tired of, you know, fighting for justice or fighting for the moose or fighting for whatever, you know, because the post-war period is like, you know, we must eternally, you know, fight for, you know, justice or democracy or, you
freedom.
know,
Hey, we're just trying to spread freedom.
Democracy, or, you know, fucking, like, whatever, fucking get in the truck, right?
We'll just teach them democracy and they'll choose it, right?
But man, war fatigue.
Oh, and you sold yours for what? Another gilded ballroom? Let me be perfectly clear when I say this. Charlie Kirk, he died free. You will most certainly die a slave.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
and she did like
that phrase face.
Mind you, that's also a good one. She has what a goofy face she has. But notice how, but she actually worked way closer with Charlie Kirk than James Lindsay did. Okay.
Yeah.
They were doing Q&As on stage. The crowd was asking them questions. Plenty of those videos. She worked very close with him at Turning Point USA. Didn't have to act like they were best friends, right? Now, don't get me wrong. She's fucking crazy. Okay.
Yeah, man. Imagine dating that, right? Like,
okay. So past Ardy would do that. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, you just,
but, I mean,
one time and you learn your lesson. That's a hot stove right there. Okay. You don't do that twice.
Candace, you got to make dinner.
Oh no, she's thinking again. Oh no, she's thinking.
Oh my God. Okay. So now we've got Tucker was interviewed by England's favorite pastime, BBC, obviously, right? Like, you know England, right? They love their big black broadcasting corporation. Mm-hmm. And this was an amazing interview. It did not seem to go to, like, the way they wanted. Tons of it was them just, like, basically asking him, you know, like, are you an anti-Sittrite? Are you an anti-Sittrite? Are you sure you're not an anti-Sittrite? You know, certain people think you might be an anti-Sittrite, right? Like, why are you blaming, like, Israel? Like, but some of the stuff that he says is amazing.
The whole thing is a fantasy. The United States went to war in Iran in order to effect regime change, to throw out the people who ran the country and collapse it at the behest and then the demand of Israel. And that's a demand the Israelis have made of the U.S. government for decades. And President Trump fell for it, did it. And I think he recognized immediately that it was a mistake and that it's very hard to extricate yourself from a war like this once it has begun. And I think the net effect, and the president himself has said this, is at best to leave the regime in place, give that regime control over commodities that flow through the straits at the eastern end of the Persian Gulf, in effect to make Iran much more powerful than it was on February 27th.
You have been, until now, really, a huge supporter of his. You wanted him elected, obviously,
Yes.
for a second term. Have you completely fallen for this war then?
Well, I haven't fallen out with him. I mean, I've known him for
Pressing X to doubt there.
decades. I always liked him. And I think anyone who spent time with him likes him. I feel sorry for him, as I do for all slaves.
See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Rhetorically, backhanded. Like, you really do. When you're at a high level, you have to be passive aggressive. You can't just scream at somebody, right?
Yeah.
It's that it's that backhandedness that's very effective, and then that causes the other person to react, and then your energy stays where it is, and goes, I don't know why you're. I don't see what the issue is. What I just said.
I mean, I just said he's a slave, which he is. You know.
Matter of fact.
He is not free in this moment at all to do what he thinks is best for himself or his country.
What do you mean?
No, he's not free. And we learned that yesterday when Donald Trump announced a ceasefire, clearly with relief, and made its terms or most of its terms public. And then that ceasefire ended within 2 hours because Israel intentionally violated the terms by attacking not just southern Lebanon, but the city of Beirut.
So are you saying he's a slave to Benjamin Netanyahu?
I don't think it's as simple as he's under the control of Netanyahu. But, you know, you could summarize it that way and you wouldn't be totally inaccurate. And again, we know this because the single biggest mistake Trump or any American president in my lifetime has made was going to war with Iran in an effort to change its regime.
I want to ask you about the British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, was criticised by the US president. He said, this is not Winston Churchill we're dealing with. Do you think Keir Starmer has made the right calls in this war?
I don't think Keir Starmer makes any calls about anything. I mean, Keir Starmer's not.
Well, he did make a call.
Oh, absolutely. Just wrecked, man. Like the thing I love about this, right, is like what Tucker is really expressing is what the fucktards would call the conspiratorial mindset, right? Where they don't believe that the people that are putatively in charge are actually the people in charge. Why would anyone think that? I can't believe what a ridiculous idea. I mean, oh my God, how could anyone think like what they wheel some fucking corpse like Starmer out and be like, oh yeah, you're in charge now. Like, oh my God. What else have we got?
Starmer is every bit as enslaved as Donald Trump is. It is illegal. It is a crime for which you can be arrested in Britain right now, criticizing Israel.
Oh yeah, this is freaking hilarious, right? Every single time the Americans point out how many people get arrested in the UK for speech crimes, the people in the UK just try and be like, oh no, you don't understand, right? We arrested them for the right reasons. And the Americans are like, you're arresting them for speech that is not the right reason. And the Eurocucks are like, no, you don't understand. We're still liberal, bros, right? Like we're still like free.
It's so not European that you're like, you might as well be an Indian to us, where our brain doesn't understand what you're describing culturally. There's no justifying that to us where we go, oh, now I get it.
It's one of the reasons why I like the Ameribros so much, right? Like that just whole, like, it says here we can say whatever the fuck we want, right? And carry guns while we're doing it, right? And it's like, God bless America.
You see what happens without it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There may have been some debate in your so were you ever like kind of anti-America, like free speech and guns, like these people are fucking crazy? And then was there ever like a year where you were like, I think I get it now? Was there like a pivot, or did you always kind of agree with the Ameribros?
No, so like when I was growing up and the Iraq War happened, there was a lot of anti-American sentiment, right? It's quite interesting actually. So when 9/11 happened, everyone in the world was really sympathetic to the Americans. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And right, if you ran into an American, I remember I ran into like a couple. It'd be like, "Damn, you know, like if you got any news, what's happening in New York?" And then they invaded Afghanistan, and everyone was like, okay, that's a bit much to get one guy, but, you know, Al-Qaeda, no, right? And then when they invaded Iraq, and everyone was like, this is bullshit, right? Fucking Bin Laden isn't in Iraq. Everyone knows he's not in Iraq. You're just like using our sympathy and that was when everyone turned on the Americans, right? And that's when, you know, all the freedom fries and mooish lies started up, right? Like, because France wouldn't, what was it? I think France tried to like block the UN resolution that they wound up like not giving a crap about anyway to go into war with Iraq. And then they're like, oh, you know, they're not French fries anymore. They're freedom fries. It's the first war of the 21st century. We're fighting a war against evil. We got to get them, right? Like, and this is the other thing, right? Like seeing fucking Bush and Blair up on the screen, like just spouting this stuff. You know, I mean, this was way back in the day. I didn't know anything about Israel. Right. I didn't realize that the reason they were talking this way is because that's the way Israel talks about fucking everything, right? To people in Australia, it just looked fucking bananas, basically. So yeah, but then I don't know. I just, you know, all the Americans I've ever met personally have been like really, really cool. So, and then, yeah, I don't know, man. I think it was easier to hold this position back when the countries I was in were actually more free.
Right.
They didn't have speech laws, and you know, right? And then as things have drifted and drifted and drifted, and more and stuff has been made illegal, right? And more of the reasons are like crap.
Yeah, this is, I understand being a Eurocuck 20 years ago. I completely understand that, okay?
Yes.
I do. Yes. It's very difficult for me to understand it nowadays, okay? I understand not liking America. I can't understand being a Eurocuck nowadays.
Yeah, and now, right, like I look at stuff like the First and Second Amendment, and it's because in Eurocuck land, and also in Australia, you don't have a right to free speech. You have what's known as an implied right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the way I used to express it to people is freedom of speech, just watch your fucking mouth, all right?
It's fucking perfect.
And that's basically like what it is, you know, and yeah, and so just the fact that you can't I mean, obviously at the moment, like the moves are trying to establish the IHRA definition of anti-semitism by just going through the state governments, because that's how they do it, right? Like,
and now, mind you, that definition, okay, it's just this international organization that influences and coaches and recommends. It's not like an actual law, unless, of course, the country chooses to make it a law. That's how they position it a lot of times when they talk about it.
Yeah, but that's how they do. They just set up an alternative government, and then they just start writing their own laws around you. Like this is the way it always goes.
I'm sure James Lindsay will include that in his political book.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Political warfare book.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Yeah.
For Palestine action, you can be arrested. A lot of people have been arrested. So in other words, it is not legal in Britain to criticize another country.
That is not true. And in terms of this,
yes, it is. Look at that poor face.
Oh boy, what do you put there?
Pucker up, Buttercup. Fucking hell.
War. I'm specifically asking.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is not true about that? Have people not been arrested in Britain for criticizing Israel? They certainly have been. There's videotape of it.
If I may, Palestine Action is a prescribed group. It is.
No, you don't understand. we made their speech illegal. So therefore, right, like by the definition of the law, right, it's illegal. Like, oh my God.
Remember when James Lindsay was like, "It's not genocide, idiot. They made it legal." I was like 2
That's
or 3
right.
streams ago.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And he was cunty about it.
Therefore, people have been
Why is
arrested.
it banned?
That is correct.
Why is it banned?
I'm asking you a question specifically about Keir
It's
Starmer's
banned
decisions
because the
he
Israeli
made
government
about the
wanted
war.
it banned. I often criticize Britain, but I love Britain. As I said, I have family there. And I don't think that Britons understand just how badly they've been shafted by the United States. And I am ashamed of that. And I hope that we will do everything we can to rectify it. I hope that our next president strikes a far more conciliatory and cooperative tone with Britain and tries to help Britain, because it has a lot of problems that will be very obvious by the next time there's a presidential election in my country.
You have said.
I mean, she just completely like glosses over that very, very salient point that Tucker is making there. And he is 100% right. All of these problems, they are just getting worse. They're just getting worse and worse and worse.
That you have been called anti-Semitic because of your
here we go.
Opposition to the US joining Israel in fighting this war.
Yes.
In March, senior Republican Senator Ted Cruz said anti-Semitism is being spread by loud voices, the most consequential of whom is Tucker Carlson. Republican Congressman Randy Fine called you the most dangerous anti-Semite in America.
Oh, well, shit, if Randy Fine says it, it must be true, man, right? Like, look, if you can't trust Randy Fine's view on people who are against Israel, who can you trust, bro? Oh, man. Fucking the way they like phrase these questions, like, oh, you know, Randy Fine said it. Oh, like you mean the like voice of neutral reason, Randy Fine.
What do you say to that?
Of course, I'm not an anti-Semite, and that's why they're calling me one, because my position on Israel has nothing to do with the religion or ethnicity of Israelis. It has everything to do with decisions made by its government that hurt my country. And so in order to avoid having that debate, the fastest and most expedient way to end it is by calling the person trying to raise it a bigot. And I just don't think that works anymore. I would say that what matters in politics and in life is what you do. I think anti-Semitism and racism of all kinds, including anti-white racism, are all immoral and anti-Christian. And I oppose.
You know, this is good because
you're not allowed to say anti-white racism, Tucker.
I know, but that's he's doing it perfectly. It's palatable. He disavows all of it, but then makes the extra qualifier of specifically mentioning anti-white racism. Dude, how long did it take us to hear that in a popular conversation? I mean, fucking, this is what, even, I want to say, what, 2 years ago that wasn't really happening, was it? I don't think it was happening 2 years ago.
It wasn't. And Tucker,
it's all very new.
Tucker was very, was a very, very big part of, you know, mainstreaming that, you know, the concept of anti-white racism, which again is just racism, but because of all the fucking quarantine race war shit of like, oh, you can't be racist against white people, right? It needs to be said.
Them. You shouldn't judge people on the basis of how they were born, period.
Sure. And you said a moment ago,
sure,
what matters in politics is what you do. You
Correct.
had far-right commentator Nick Fuentes on your show, who, as you
Oh,
know, said
God.
Hitler was really effing cool,
Oh,
Hitler was
God.
awesome, Hitler was right,
Mhm.
the Holocaust didn't happen, and said on his podcast, in his view, Jewish people are the problem rather than Israel. I know
Right.
you've said you've had him on because
I
you're
disagree with that.
right. Do you have concerns that broadcasting Nazi-loving, Holocaust-denying guests to your audience and potentially mainstreaming and normalizing?
You see how these questions are all pre-written, right?
What do you
Like-
mean? What do you mean? Question? She's not shutting the fuck up. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
heavy-handed. It's beating them over the head with it when we already get it.
Yeah.
Those views is an issue.
I've said that I disagreed with Fuentes on those questions. I don't think that you should ever judge or attack people on the basis of their bloodline. I also interviewed Ted Cruz. I tried to interview Randy Fine. Both of them have
But let me go back to the Nick
defended.
Fuentes
Let me,
stuff.
if I may
Finish
finish
this
my
point,
answer.
sure.
I've interviewed both of them, or tried to interview Fine. He wouldn't, but I've interviewed Ted Cruz, as you noted, and both of them have defended the genocide in Gaza, the murder of children.
Pause it.
And I would say that sending
Shalom, Daddy's home.
Get that ass,
Mate.
Tucker.
Mate.
Make the concession. Just make the concession about Nick Fuentes, and then talk about. Yeah, but what about what the politicians are saying? Right?
Don't listen, Ardy. You got to understand.
Yes.
Saying bad stuff is much worse than actually killing people, right? Because
That's what the right's been told for all my entire life.
it's so weird. This
money to a military that murders children is a little bit more significant a moral crime than saying ugly things.
Do you think Fuentes is anti-Semitic? Do you think he is?
It sounded like it to me. I said that to him, and I said I oppose anti-Semitism, which I sincerely do. And by the way, unlike the UK, we have a First Amendment. So if I was an anti-Semite, I guess I would just say so.
I love that. I love that daggers. Dude, how those are like shivs in prison, right?
he just comes
Quick
in,
little
like,
stabs.
stabs you in the kidney, like, Like, fuck.
And it's like, what are you talking about? Stabbed you? What do you mean? I wouldn't.
Well, that wasn't
if I stabbed you, I would just say I stabbed you. What are you talking about?
Hey, buddy, you seem to be like bleeding from your kidney there a bit. How does that happen?
At this point, I don't know why I would lie about it, but I oppose it. And I've opposed it in public consistently for my entire public life.
You claimed a couple of times in our conversation that Donald Trump is not in control. Many Democrats, and also some on the right, former Trump allies like Marjorie Taylor Greene, are now calling for the president's removal, with some citing the 25th Amendment, which allows the vice president and the cabinet to declare that
She's got a team writing these questions for her. She's got an iPad
really? You
down
think?
in her eye line, right? And a chat window open. And there's a whole fucking team of researchers.
Thing in her ear,
watching this.
probably talking to her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't, she wouldn't really even need like something in her ear, right? She could just have a Slack window open on her iPad, right? And the researchers just, you know.
president is no longer able to do the job. Do you want to see him removed?
I want to see the system reformed. All American presidents since 1963 have done substantially what Israel wanted us to do. And now it's really hurting us.
Right.
And so the
Pause it.
problem is not simply Trump. The problem
1963.
is the mechanism of control that allows a country of 9 million to control a country of 350 million. What is that mechanism? I'm not sure I know the answer.
But
We
as-
need to
as
find out
Commander-in-Chief,
what that is.
Well, as you know, as commander-in-chief, he could have said no to Benjamin Netanyahu. Other presidents have. Joe Biden, Barack Obama.
You're absolutely right. And I made that point. And you're absolutely right, they did. And I wish our president had, but he didn't.
So it's not the
And he
system.
went into a war.
It's not the system, bro.
Well, it is the system because the last president financed the Gaza genocide. The president before him, same thing.
I wanted to ask you about the Melania Trump press conference, very unusual, where she denied connections to Jeffrey Epstein and said that any claims linking her and him need to end today. What do you think is going on there?
Strictly speaking, I don't know what's going on there. I know the White House communication staff had no idea she was going to say that. So it's one of two possibilities. Either she was reading speculation about her relationship with Epstein on the internet and she was upset and wanted to clear her name, which is totally possible, or there was something else going on. So the Israeli government has a long and well-documented track record of using sex scandal or the appearance of scandal to force American political leaders into doing its bidding. You hope it wasn't that. But I did notice that within an hour or two after that press conference, a piece came out, I think, in the Daily Beast alleging some connection between Melania Trump and Epstein, which was obviously hurtful to her and embarrassing to the first family. So I don't know if there's any kind of connection, but I do know, once again, this is a fact, that sex scandals are used, probably not just by the Israeli government, probably lots of foreign governments. It's not just the Israelis. I just want to be clear.
I mean, I am going to point out, I probably don't need to because our audience can see and hear for themselves. Pretty much everything that you've said in our conversation, Tucker Carlson, you have put at the door of the Israeli government. Now, to some people, that will be evidence that you are anti-Semitic. You are anti-Jewish.
Oh, I know. I'm very anti-Semitic and well, first of all, the state of
I love the way she frames that, right? To some.
Yeah,
right?
no,
Like
this
to some people out there, you realize that what you say could be possibly taken to be antiseptic. Where is this some person? Oh my God.
Israel does not speak for all Jews at all, despite its claims. It does not. There are many, many Jews, many of whom I know, who don't think the Israeli government of Benjamin Netanyahu speaks for them.
No,
I'm speaking of the government, not religion.
No,
Hold on.
I wasn't suggesting
Of course
that.
you were suggesting
What
that.
I was suggesting is that a lot of the
I've been in
things
this
that you've
business
discussed
longer than
today-
you, and I understand what a slur looks like. And you're attempting to call me an anti-Semite in a passive-aggressive way. Some people would say that. Well, I'm responding to your slur and saying that it's untrue. It does not apply to me. Doubtless there are anti-Semites who don't like Israel. I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't hate Israel. The Israeli government, this is documented, and I saw it personally, steered the United States into a war that hurts the United States and the world. I'm offended by that. I didn't want it, and I'm mad about it now. I have every right to feel that way. That does not make me an anti-Semite, despite your insinuation. And I think it's important that I say that. And by the way, I hope that you run this. I can't control whether or not you air this exchange. I hope that you will, because I think it's important to push back against slurs like that, because they limit our ability to understand what's actually happening. This is not an attack by Jews on the United States. This is Benjamin Netanyahu moving the United States to do something he thinks will benefit him, but that does not benefit us. It's that simple.
Tucker Carlson, thank you very much for talking to us.
Oh, wow, dude, that should be shown in like political classes, poli-sci classes, in terms of like, speech and how to phrase something assertively.
That is as good as the Peterson interview with
Kathy Newman.
Kathy Newman. Yeah.
Very good point.
Okay, so we're just gonna play like a little bit of Fuentes talking about what's going on with MAGA, basically.
So I'm going to pull it up for you. And before we get into the actual ceasefire, let's do the fun stuff. Let's do a silly one first. So our first story is about this unbelievable Truth Social post from President Trump.
No, did we show this last week, didn't we? Is he going to read it?
I think so.
But this is 35 minutes. How much of this is showing?
Don't know, man. I was just going to like play the opening monologue, I guess.
It says, quote, President Trump called Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones, four conservative, once allies of Trump who have been critical of his approach to the war in Iran, losers and stupid people in a nearly 500-word Truth Social post on Thursday. He said they sought publicity and would say anything necessary to get it. And this is the post. I'll read it to you. This is good stuff, guys. Why do I like it? See, that's how you know I'm evil. That's how you know I might be a little bit evil. And maybe I just live for the drama a little bit. Maybe I just like to see something happen sometimes. But today, Trump jumps on Truth Social and he just tears Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Tucker, and Marjorie Greene a fucking new asshole in this 500-word devastating truth nuke, orbital strike, rods of God bomb of a post. And I don't know why I like it, because directionally I agree with all these people, but there's something that I just like about this. And
Chad's saying we already covered this.
Yeah,
So
I showed this the last stream. The
right. Sorry about that, bros. Sometimes it gets a little hard to figure out what we have and have not covered. So we're gonna play some boring Jeremy.
Oh, you have a boring clip. Okay.
This is the whole thing. Have you got clips or?
Yeah, I had. They say our money goes to Israel.
Okay, well, you drive then.
Yeah, I mean, this is really just so to make this very quick. I love this. I've noticed this for so long. So if you ask Snopes, did a convicted terrorist sit on the board of a BLM funding body? They go mixture. Okay, Susan Rosenberg is a convicted terrorist who has sat on the board of directors of Thousand Currents, an organization which handles fundraising of the Black Lives Matter Global Network. What's true? What's true? She has served as vice chair of the board of directors, and she was an active member of revolutionary left-wing movements whose illegal activities included bombing the U.S. government. What's undetermined? Well, in the absence of a single universally agreed-upon definition of terrorism, it's a matter of subjective determination to really call her a terrorist, okay? So, of course, the claim that Jeremy over here is that all our money goes to Israel is going to be the claim that he's addressing, okay?
Right. Okay.
All our money goes to f***ing Israel. This, according to Theo Vaughn during an appearance with Joe Rogan last week. As of right now, the legacy of Trump's second term is, according to Dave Smith, doing anything Israel.
Turn it up a bit.
And Tucker Carlson tells us Bibi Netanyahu is apparently in charge of the United States. Everywhere you turn on social media and on the biggest podcasts and YouTube channels, the message is the same. Israel controls the American government. Israel controls the American military. Israel controls America itself. They want you to believe that our politicians belong to Israel, that our military fights wars for Israel, that we're no longer a sovereign nation, but a vassal state of the state of Israel. The purveyors of this theory state it just so.
He feels like he's always reading whenever he's talking, right? Is that just me?
No, he is. He's clearly reading off a teleprompter.
It's every time he's ever spoken, he always sounds like this, no matter who he's talking to.
Yeah.
He's one of the most inorganic men, one of the most inorganic guys I've ever come across. And I know James Lindsay, okay? Personally, as my best friend.
As undisputed and undeniable fact. It's self-evident to hear them tell it. Everyone knows it, even though, of course, not everyone does. No one is allowed to say it, even though, of course, it's all they can talk about.
Don't you love that? No one's allowed to say it, but now that we're actually... Screw what Nick Fuentes went through, you know, whether or not you think he's a Fed for the past decade, okay? Now we're allowed. It's same thing with COVID, okay? Hey, guys, we can talk about it. I don't see why, you know. What about when we couldn't talk about it? I guess is what we're talking about. It's the 93. It's what I call the 93% peaceful fallacy. Oh, look at all this destruction going on, but what about in all the areas where that's not happening? Well, I'm talking about fucking where it is happening, okay?
Yeah, man. Look, you can talk about it now. What's your beef? Right? Like, you know, what you Americans think you're supposed to have freedom of speech or something?
Well, you do. You can say it. You're saying you can't talk about. Well, saying you can't talk about it. Yeah, the only people that you're hearing talk about it have power and are able to talk about it. Most people aren't.
Look, you can say it. We can't guarantee that you'll still have a job or a bank account afterwards. Remember, Ardy, right? Freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences, bro.
It's like fuck before Jesus fed everybody. They're complaining about everyone being hungry after Jesus feeds them. What are you fucking talking about? See, everyone's fed. It's fucking incredible.
If it seems absurd to you that a country the size of New Jersey with a GDP roughly half that of Ohio could control the world's hegemonic superpower, that's because it is absurd. But just because an idea is stupid on its face doesn't mean it can't be powerful. As this narrative has been repeated like a steady drumbeat since October 7th.
No, I think this narrative has been repeated like a steady drumbeat for 2,000 years, Jeremy. I love the idea that this is anything new at all whatsoever. The JQ was like 2 years old, right?
Yep.
Support for the state of Israel in America has declined. Hostility toward Israel has gone up. Americans have historically supported Israel over the Palestinians, but according to research from Gallup, that's no longer the case. For the first time in history last year, more Americans say they side with the Palestinians than the Israelis in the Middle East conflict. According to an NBC poll from 2013 till now, Democrat support for Israel has been almost cut.
I need everyone to know that if you go like into my channel 2 years ago, maybe even like a year and a half ago, I'm still generally pro-Israel, okay? Because of how much I hated, still do, hate Muslims, right? So not knowing anything, when I'm talking about Israel-Palestine, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, the moves can't be worse than the fucking Palestinians. I don't fucking give a shit. It's incredible. It's incredible that like how like the Americans' general perception of Muslims, okay, not good. Okay, it is incredible that it's like, yeah, you know what? Really, just to stick it to the Israelis, I'm going to choose the Palestinians. I get it now. I fucking get it now, dude, because of how like continuous this whole thing keeps going in fucking circles with no resolution.
I'm trying to find this tweet I saw from oh my god, who was it from? I think it was from like A Templar, and he was talking about how I think it was Cicero actually, right? Like back in Rome, was talking about how like when the Moors took over, and he's like, you know, the vanquished has imposed their culture over the victor. Like they had exactly the same beef back in ancient Rome, the decline of Rome. So
this is since October 7th. Okay, before that, everything was fine. They were controlling the narrative, even though the left was suppressing the internet. It still favored the Moors. Okay.
Yep.
In half. It sits today at 17%. And Republican support for Israel is on the decline as well, though it's still at a healthy 70%.
On the decline, still at 70% from Republicans, okay? We now we understand what a neocon is. A neoliberal is just the muified globalization, anti-nationalism of the left or the center left. And then, of course, the neocon is the forever wars. For some reason, we're never going to war with Canada or with China. It's always in the Middle East for some reason. So the neo just means mu in both contexts. Now,
I gotta show you.
yeah.
I gotta show you something just quickly.
Absolutely.
By the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so look at this. I finally dug this up.
Mm-hmm.
They have very much shifted away from Israel. Look at this. Net favorability of Israel among men under the age of 50. In 2022, not too bad, but not too hot to trot either at -3 points.
Pause it.
2025.
Could they have picked a mooier young man to do this to?
Again, down we go, -22 points. That is a 19-point shift in just 3 years' time. But it gets even worse. Look at this for Israel. -47 points. That's a 44-point shift away from Israel on the net favorability amongst young men who, of course, shifted massively into the Republican column back in 2024. And they have been shifting away from Israel over the last 4 years. They have.
Man, that is very, very bad poll numbers. Like, holy crap.
The age divide makes it all the more shocking. In 2025, a Harvard-Harris poll found that 60% of 18 to 24-year-olds actually support Hamas over Israel. And a 2024 study found that 33% of Americans, a third of the nation, believe Israeli operatives are manipulating U.S. policy.
Can you believe that? That Israeli, they're manipulating? But it's so funny because, like, me 2 years ago, I would have said, I filled out Israel. Me now, just to be antagonistic, would say Hamas. Like, I completely understand it now.
I don't.
And of course, it isn't just Israel.
Yep.
Care like that much. I mean, I know there are Christians in Palestine and no, but that to me, like they're always reframing it in these terms, like, oh, which side do you support, right? Like Israel or Palestine. I just don't want them messing with the political system in my country. Is to me the most fundamental and germane point.
Oh, so you don't want your energy prices to go up and your electronics prices to go up dramatically. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
They're affecting your economy?
Yeah. And I don't like the subversion and the way they sort of like put guardrails on.
Oh, you're such a prude. Live a little.
And the way that like they underpin this like concept of liberalism that, right, like white populations have to keep making excuses for like the blacks and the.
Would you agree that
Pakistanis
liberalism is forced upon white people in the West under the threat of a gun? Essentially, you can't defend yourself. You can't defend your own property. Even that guy that was in California, the chud that went into that guy's house. That guy's terrified to kill the guy. Yeah, the guy had gotten into his home, and at what point can you strike the man? The guy was terrified to defend him.
Yeah, well, that was in California, right? I mean, like, fuck knows what the hell is going to happen, right? You like charges into your house, you pop a cap in him, you're the one who's going to be on trial, right? Like,
right?
California is very UK-ish in that sense.
Real. A 2024 study found that 24% of Americans harbor extensive anti-Semitic attitudes toward Jewish people. That's up from 20% in 2022.
Have we ever heard of an anti-white study? Has it ever existed? Has it ever existed, the amount of anti-white sentiment in the country?
No, of course not. They don't do those. Who would pay for those kinds of studies, Ardy? Like come on.
Anybody,
right?
Elon, somebody. Can we get one study? I just want to know what the number is.
I want to know how they defined people holding these views, right? They're not just gonna do a poll saying like, are you anti-Semitic?
Extensive anti-Semitic attitudes toward Jewish people. That's up from 20% in 2022.
I mean, we could find it. I bet it wouldn't be very compelling.
Yeah.
And much of that rise has been driven by millennials and Gen Z. Among those two younger generations, nearly a quarter say they don't believe the Holocaust actually occurred, or if it did occur, it was certainly exaggerated by history, or they're just not sure.
Did you ever think you would hear ex-owner of Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, ever say that study out loud? Okay, 5 years ago, did you ever think?
I think we covered that poll, actually. Now that he's saying it, yeah, because
sounds kind of familiar, right?
Yeah, because this is the way that they frame it, right? Like if you are not on board with the Holy, then by definition, you are antiseptic. The two are inseparable. I mean, it's fucking, whatever.
Oh, and 15% of them believe it's acceptable to hold neo-Nazi views too.
I love this. Hold neo-Nazi views. Now, they'll say anti-Semitic views. They'll say anti-black views. They'll say anti-trans views. I've never heard them say anti-white views. I've never heard it. I've never heard this phrase, okay?
No.
It's incredible.
No, of course not.
In another poll, 65% of respondents aged 18 to 22 disagreed with the statement that Jews have a positive impact on the United States. If that sounds surprising, it shouldn't. While it's certainly possible to criticize the state of Israel without resorting to anti-Semitism, many of the purveyors of the Israel controls America narrative seem dead set on proving that it isn't. What starts as a critique of Israeli policy, often, though certainly not always,
Here's the slippery slope. Here comes the slippery slope.
But like, we're always being told, right, that anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are exactly the same thing, and that because Israel is the only Jewish state, right, to criticize Israel is to criticize all of Muri. So, oh man, this is the thing. They're kind of like painting themselves into a corner.
We're
basically
arriving
here.
at that station right now.
Yeah.
Attacks on Jews. When given the chance to interview American ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, for example, Tucker Carlson found time to ask if the Jews in Israel today are really the same as the Jews in the Bible.
I love how he found time to ask that. It's fucking like,
found
what the fuck
time.
does that even mean?
Like he wrote it down in his diary. He make sure to set time aside to ask this specific
That takes a
horrible
second to
question.
ask. Yeah.
And while Candace Owens loves to say that I once fired her for simply criticizing the secular state of Israel, they love to call it the secular state of Israel, by the way.
Why does that hurt him so badly? That they love to call it the secular state. Why did he take time to have to say that, to point that out? Because it's not secular, but it is secular, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, is it secular or isn't it? Right? If it's secular, then there's no religious or ethnic component, which means that you could criticize it like any other government, right? Like if I said that I disliked the government of Ghana, would someone basically call me like an anti-Ghanaite, right? Like,
now,
because
of course
wanna
he's
have
not
their
going
cake
to
and eat
answer
it too.
that, but he's not going to answer whether he's just going to let the audience fill the cracks in with their own brains. It obviously implies that they're not secular the way he's saying it, but plausible deniability, he actually never said anything at the end of the day.
The fact that she's still repeating the same blood libels 2 years later, blaming Jews for everything from pornography to pedophilia, from child sacrifice to the murder of Christians worldwide.
I think between both of our channels, we've covered that pretty extensively, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Shall we wrap this up and we'll do super chats and then
oh yeah,
we go to the war.
You don't want to watch Jeremy boring? Let me just go to the very end of this right now.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Our country. Well, the oldest argument made by the Israel controls America crowd is money. Specifically, how much money Israel and American Jews spend trying to influence American politics and politicians. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee, known as AIPAC, is a lobbying group that claims to be working to strengthen U.S.-Israel relations. But if you ask the Israel haters, AIPAC is a sinister cabal of money launderers who buy off politicians so they'll support Israel. Last summer, Candace suggested that, quote, Trump commands the worship of AIPAC. Degenerate influencer Dan Bilzerian said that AIPAC makes America, quote, a puppet of Israel. And it will remain, according to Bilzerian, a puppet until AIPAC registers as a foreign agent. Now, AIPAC is an influential group, but here's the thing. They aren't foreign. AIPAC is made up of Americans spending American money to lobby the American government. And yes, many of the Americans in AIPAC are Jewish Americans who...
There's no joke. It's unbelievable. The whole thing,
honestly, it's like Schrodinger's ethnicity, right? It's important when it's important, and then all of a sudden it's like not important. It's like feminists when they just like they're either powerful or victims, like depending on the circumstance that gets them the most clout, essentially.
But all they have to do is paint our accusations, which are true. It's, oh yeah, that's honestly, he could drop his pants around his ankles at a fucking preschool, and you go, oh, so you're gonna tell me that I'm dropping my pants around my ankles at a preschool and exposing myself? Yes. Just because you're saying it in that tone of voice doesn't make it untrue. Yes, that is the claim.
Yeah. Okay.
Whip it out. Yep.
Super chats.
Whip it out, dog.
Okay. What imagines no light, no grace, no energy is now in my lexicon. Oh, thanks, man. It's pretty good. Christos for another 5 memberships, mate.
Is it another?
Yeah, look at him go. I think that's a new one. Did we play that before? Oh god, I can't remember. I'm starting to fade, bros. Is the night for $5? Lindsay, a man with critical thinking can just read the Bible. Also Lindsay, but not John 5:18 or Matt 27:25. And we need a moo to interpret the Talmud. Yeah,
That's a good point where anyone can read the Bible, but only they can understand their religious text. I've never even heard that opinion before. I like that a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is absolutely true, right? Like the moos basically say, oh, that the Talmud, it's so complicated, right? You can't like just read sections of it. You take it out of context, and then they're like,
but the Bible, anyone can understand that.
Yeah. Well, and then they're like, well, actually, because it's a disputation between like, different rabbis, like no one can pin down like what anyone like actually believes, and no, it's all just obfuscation. Deep Calm for $5. They can't stand Tucker's white excellence.
He's popularizing and normalizing talking about anti-white racism, which a lot of people have noticed, but they haven't heard. It activates a base to actually hear it out loud from a popular person. So
yeah, or they don't want to step on. They don't want to step on that landmine, right? Remember, talking about anti-white racism is grievance politics.
Oh, fuck.
Right, and Lindsay has taught us very, very well. Right, there's nothing wrong with there's no such thing really as anti-white racism, despite him like documenting it extensively. And if you're like pissed off about anti-white racism, you're woke, right? However, if you're Mooish and you're worried about anti-Mooish racism, well, hold the fucking phone, right? Like call the fire brigade, right? Call the Shomrim. We got to do something about that.
James Lindsay spent years carefully crafting a big, giant, well-functioning rake and then jumped off a 3-story building onto it and doesn't understand why his back is hurting.
King Spectre for $10.
I could love. It's pretty chatty. That's pretty chatty.
Oh, I love the profile pic. Anti-white racism, like the Muslim cuddle clubs, specifically going after white English girls for decades while the government covers it up and makes excuses, is worse than the holy. Precisely. The cuddle the cuddle clubs are the white holy. They absolutely are, and there's no one's going to get held accountable for it. They'll get like a few like low-hanging fruit. It's already been decided that Starmer's tenure as head of the Crown Prosecution Service is not up for investigation in the government quote unquote inquiry. So fucking.
And YouTube wouldn't let him say grooming gang, so that's why he said cuddle club. I saw that in the chat.
Really, dude,
it hurts, right?
Listen, look, that's fine, right? We have infinite creativity in the chat. Look at freaking Isaac, mate. Right? Look, we'll just emoji our way around it, right? Like
he's a bit office rocker, but I understand most of it.
Just make up new words, right? Like we can create new words faster than they can like censor them.
Fist, let's get kicked off of YouTube and say I don't care and just start saying slurs. Let's do that, okay? Let's not
let's not, right? I am of the belief, right, that it is actually censorship that drives the creation and
absolutely
sort of modification of language. Look at all the Zoomer talk and stuff, right? I reckon tons of that just emerged basically because of censorship, because you just couldn't say stuff. So they just invented their own language, because you can't stop people wanting to. What's this you got?
That's for at the end.
Okay.
Sorry.
Paulie B for $20. Thank you very much, Paulie.
There.
He is risen. Up yours, woke atheists. We'll see who converts who. St. Jordan B. Peter in the base timeline. Tucker is first ballot Hall of Fame for frame game breaking. Highlights frame, destroys and pivots masterclass. Yeah, man. Like watching Tucker work is like amazing.
Yeah, it's things that you can take forward with you. Of like he's always maintains his composure, but the jailhouse shiv he sticks in people.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Paulie. Clown Town Chronicle. Hey, Aaron. For $5. You can check out, by the way, the latest episode of Clown-Based Lifeforms, which is me and Aaron from Clown Town Chronicle over on my channel. It's fun. It's just like conspiracy slop.
Which
it's nice
for the channel is doing consistently pretty well, so people are pretty into it. Good job, fellas.
Man, we get great feedback. People seem to really like it. We covered this already. Does that mean they finally restarted this stream?
Wow, from downtown. Very nice.
Frankensteak for $10. My favorite fantasy moo is Tolkien's dwarves. They are super legalistic, giving Bilbo a complicated contract. They become brave when they see treasure, and they live underground and dig tunnels.
Brave when they see treasure is crazy, which is true though. Like you've seen the moo kids like just going into a water fountain and just picking up the chain.
Yeah.
Oh, very quickly, Jeremy Boring goes on this big thing about the moos and says that they don't quite assimilate. He sneaks that in there in his representation of the moos. He openly says that they don't quite assimilate as he's trying to speak for them. He still couldn't even admit that he still admitted that. I was like, well, why don't they assimilate? How much longer they have to be here for to fucking assimilate? What the fuck is that?
Why would you want them to assimilate? What are you, some kind of like bigot? Clearly, we need to change all of society around them, mate.
I'm just trying to use liberalism against my enemies like they've done to me for my entire life, okay? It's the only point of liberalism.
King Spectre for $5. Oh my God, he changed the profile pic again. Look at that.
That's a good one.
Oh, mate. Who do you support, Israel or Palestine? I just hope they have fun and keep it to themselves.
Dude, honestly, I'll be a libertarian in that regard.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's how many war crimes you do along the way, mate, right? Smiling Man for $5. In the wise words of Kissinger, it's a pity both sides can't lose. Oh God, yeah, Kissinger had some fucking great lines. Yes, Nick Nielsen gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, mate.
Hello there. Fellas, plenty of stuff behind the paywall. Check it out. Hours and hours and hours. We're talking like probably over 20 hours of content at this point. Check it out.
Theodore McCarthy for $5. Don't forget the past 50 years of daily grape and Mordor white suffered from blacks in the USA. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and those are just youths in the news that are doing that.
I don't know, man. The cuddle clubs. I'm gonna start using that. That's a fucking banger acronym. The cuddle clubs are just sort of, I mean, just the way they were like organized, and they go back like so far as well. Like it seems like it has a different, more organized quality, but maybe not, right? Like there's probably like, black cuddle clubs in the States, if you think about it.
Yeah, they're called gangs. We don't have to add anything additional. Oh, actually, this is a good point that I never hear, is that pimping, is child sex trafficking.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right? They're not looking for IDs. And we actually made that, moos, like big pimping and like black culture. Like, what's up, pimp? Like, that is just glorifying child sex trafficking in the culture. And I've never heard that talked about or rectified. Like, why would you be saying that? Oh, because pimp. What do you think that means?
Yeah.
Do you think they check IDs when they're fucking doing that shit?
Yeah. A rat named Mouse for $5. Thank you, mate. Limitation is the mother of creativity. From invention to art, it has led to some of the best works. Why would hate speech be any different? High IQ post there.
Absolutely.
I agree. You just got to be faster than the senses. You got to be more nimble. You got to be more fucking creative. And
shit moves quick nowadays too.
And we have the team, right? We have the H team.
The mega mind.
Right, the mega mind. Right? Yeah. Yeah, nice one. Thanks, Mouse. So on the list for 100 ask. Look at him go. Is this Jeremy Boring's impression of that Simpsons episode when Sideshow Bob committed voter fraud? Orange Man was getting too much praise and BB couldn't help himself and spilled the brand. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'll agree. I have no reason to think he's lying. None.
Okay. Super Chat's achieved. Time for the last segment.
Yes, sir.
On the war. So
look at how separated her eyes are.
Oh my god.
Now you can go ahead.
Holy crap, Spectre. That's fucking funny, mate.
Ruthless.
So they were having negotiations with the Iranians, but something was telling me that like maybe they might not be successful. This is the Israeli government's Arabic channel, Farsi Twitter channel. If negotiations fail in the coming hours, there is no guarantee that the plane carrying the regime's terrorists will reach Tehran. So they're basically saying, like, if the negotiations don't go the way we want, we'll blow up their jet as they try and fly back from Pakistan. Okay, right? Like, you know. So basically they failed. Okay. They were apparently going like pretty well. Then Vance showed up. Then Vance got a call from Netanyahu, and Vance walked out. And bada bing, bada boom. I can't believe the Iranians fell for it again, quite frankly. Okay, like it fell for it again. Award. The Iranians actually thought the Americans were going to negotiate, and it's probably because, you know, you can't really separate the Americans from the Israelis. So, you know, they probably meet, like, you know, representatives from America. Like the Americans brought over like a bunch of technical experts to talk about like the nuclear issue and stuff like that. And probably a lot of them aren't even aware that Trump isn't running their country anymore. It's Netanyahu running. But he put the kibosh, and this is what Vance had to say afterwards.
I'm not hearing audio on that.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, there it is. We're good.
A couple of notes of appreciation. First of all, to the Prime Minister of Pakistan and to Field Marshal Munir, who were both incredible hosts. And whatever shortcomings in the negotiation, it wasn't because of the Pakistanis, who did an amazing job and really tried to help us and the Iranians bridge the gap and get to a deal. We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement. And I think that's bad news for Iran, much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States, having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could. And they have chosen not to accept our terms. Questions?
Now, this is all basically a framing device. This is a very, very common thing in negotiations when you really want a war, but you don't want to be seen as the people that started the war. Okay. You basically start with a negotiating position that you know that the other side can't accept. The more vague the negotiating position, the better. So, for example, the Americans were going in basically saying that Iran needed to like give up all of its uranium. They had to give up like all of their missiles. Well, who's going to know when all the uranium is out? Who's going to know when they don't have any missiles left? Well, they'll need like inspectors. They'll need tons of inspectors. Maybe people from the CIA are like part of those, or Mossad are part of those groups of inspectors, right? Maybe those inspectors will have to, you know, get inside every single secret Iranian facility. This is what they did with like Iraq, like with Libya. This is a well sort of like understood game at this point.
Nick Robertson from CNN. Precisely what have they rejected here? Can you help us understand it a little bit?
Well, I won't go into all the details because I don't want to negotiate in public after we negotiated for 21 hours in private. But the simple fact is that we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon and they will not seek the tools.
By the way, look at Vance being like, "Oh, we negotiated for 21 hours," as if that is a long time. It's not a fucking long time.
I know, for such a drastic thing.
You lightweight motherfuckers, right? Like, you know, you are negotiating with a sworn enemy. This is another thing I fucking hate about like the way like these Western countries do these international politics. They're like, "Oh, we only need to negotiate like with friends. You're not friendly." Dude, it's not. You don't negotiate peace treaties with your friends by definition. You're trying to end a fucking war, which means they are your enemies. That's like why you have all of this like supporting structure around peace negotiations. That's why you meet in a neutral country, in this case, Pakistan.
I think it's kind of weird how they didn't invade Israel like how they invaded Iran.
Yeah. Funny how that works. Yeah.
That would enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. That is the core goal of the President of the United States. And that's what we've tried to achieve through these negotiations. Again, their nuclear program, such as it is, the enrichment facilities that they had before, they've been destroyed. But the simple question is, do we see a fundamental commitment of will for the Iranians not to develop a nuclear weapon, not just now, not just 2 years?
The previous Ayatollah, before you guys killed him, literally issued a fatwa saying that nuclear weapons were against Islamic principles and that they wouldn't develop one. And now he's dead. And I mean, it's look, this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit, in my opinion. They're just buying time. They're just
So-
like situating stuff. They're
Yeah.
just trying to like drag it out as long as possible, run out the clock, and then they're gonna like pounce. That's my personal
Just
opinion.
for clarity, so you can state this publicly, you are not trusting the plan.
I am not. I am.
Okay.
Well,
There
I
it is.
mean, no. I am trusting the plan. I just think the plan is to glass Iran. That is the plan, right? And all of this other shit is just distraction because they don't want to come out and say, "Oh yeah, we're going to glass Iran," right? Like, whether maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. And there is nothing Iran can do about it, right? There's no negotiating, and all of these negotiating positions they'll change. The Schrodinger's negotiation, right? Maybe this day we said this, and then tomorrow we'll say this, and no. They are going to glass Iran.
Iran's been 2 months away from having nukes for like what, 20 years now?
20 years. So it's exactly the same playbook that they did with Iraq, right? Saddam is on his way to getting nuclear weapons. And if we don't stop him now, it'll be 5 minutes until a mushroom cloud. Like, fucking...
You remember that like it was just yesterday, huh?
Mate, I do. I do.
That's
Like,
incredible.
Mate, George W. Bush made like such a fucking impression on my brain. I used to use like clips of his like speeches in like techno music because it just had this really eerie fucking like quality to it. You know what I mean?
Right, but also like did he seem retarded to you? You're like, okay, he's a puppet. Like this guy.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
He did seem fucking retarded. Yeah.
We haven't seen that yet. We hope that we will. Jen.
Was there a framework on anything? And also, did the Iranian frozen assets come up? And did you reach any conclusions on those frozen assets?
We talked about all those issues, Jen, and we talked about a number of issues beyond that. And so certainly those things came up. But again, we just could not get to a situation where the Iranians were willing to accept our terms. I think that we were quite flexible. We were quite accommodating. The president told us, you need to come here in good faith and make your best effort to get a deal. We did that. And unfortunately, we weren't able to make any headway. Preston.
Mr. Vice President, how often did you communicate with President Trump throughout the negotiations? There were reports that there were multiple rounds, where there were breaks in between negotiations. How often did you communicate with the president throughout those rounds, and what was he saying as you were going through these negotiations that you said fell short?
Yeah, obviously we were talking to the president consistently. I don't know how many times we talked to him, a half dozen times, a dozen times over the past 21 hours. We obviously also talked to Admiral Cooper, to Pete, to Marco, to the entire national security team. We talked to Scott Bessent a number of times. So look, we were constantly in communication with the team because we were negotiating in good faith. And we leave here with a very simple proposal, a method of understanding that is our final and best offer. We'll see if the Iranians accept it. Thank you.
Yeah, what is that final and best offer? Let me guess. It's the offer that you walked in with, isn't it? Right? That you know they're not going to accept. Now, this is a very, very interesting clip. Check out what Trump said when he was asked about the negotiations.
Getting a lot of reports. They've been meeting for many hours, as you probably have noticed. We'll see what happens. Look, regardless, we win. Regardless what happens, we win. We've totally defeated that country. And so let's see what happens. Maybe they make a deal, maybe they don't.
It doesn't matter. Trump's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, then why the fuck are you negotiating? What is even the point?
From the standpoint of America, we win. One of the things that's happening is that boats are sailing up and heading out to our country. Big, beautiful tankers, and we're loading them up with oil and gas and everything else. And it's a pretty beautiful thing to see.
Oh, that doesn't feel good. I like it when he talks like that, not about this topic.
Now, this is important, right? Now, everyone is saying that Trump is an idiot, particularly like with the blockade. We'll talk about that like in a little, I've got like 5 minutes left. But this is, looked at from another angle.
Okay, so what if Trump is not an idiot? What if losing the war in Iran is exactly the plan? Let me show you something the media. Saying Trump is destroying America.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Under warning, he's threatening to invade with.
Did that crap out on your end?
A little poopy. I got a little bit of poop.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's try that again.
Rubbed in though. It was just poop.
What if losing the war in Iran is exactly the plan? plan. Let me show you something the media will never tell you. So everyone is saying Trump is destroying America. He is fighting an unwinnable war in Iran. He is threatening to invade with ground troops. He is pissing off NATO by threatening Greenland. He is picking fights with Canada, Mexico, Denmark, Colombia. JP Morgan says the world will run out of oil by mid-April. The global economy is about to collapse. Trump looks like the worst president in history, a complete buffoon, right? But what if that's the whole point? What if Trump wants to lose the war in Iran? What if he wants the American empire to collapse? What if he wants to destroy the global economy? Then he would be a genius. Let me explain. Right now, the world gets 20% of its oil from the Middle East. Japan gets around 75% from the Middle East. India gets around 60%. China gets around 50%. Europe is also heavily dependent. But here's the thing, oil is not rare. Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves. Canada has massive reserves. United States has massive reserves. Trump just took over Venezuela in January. He's threatening to take over Canada. You see where this is going. If Trump closes the Strait of Hormuz by fighting Iran, the Middle East oil stops flowing. But North America is still pumping. Suddenly Europe, China, Japan, South Korea, they all would need American oil. And not just oil, fertilizer too. The nitrogen for food production also comes from the Middle East. If that's cut off, where do they turn? There are only two options, North America and Russia. Trump is making the entire world dependent on the resources he controls. Now here is the genius part. Who owns the most US debt? Who's financing America's $39 trillion? It's Japan, China, Taiwan, South Korea, UK, France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. The same countries that need Middle East oil. There's been this fear that these countries would stop buying US Treasury bonds, that they would move to gold or Swiss francs, that America's Ponzi scheme would collapse. But now they need American energy. They need American resources. They can't abandon the dollar. They are trapped. Trump just turned America's biggest weakness, its debt, into its greatest weapon. By starting an unwinnable war in Iran, he's forcing the entire world to depend on North America. This isn't new. Putin already proved that this strategy works in Ukraine. Russia has been fighting for 5 years. It's a slow grind, but it has restructured Russia's entire economy around war production, drones, ammunitions, and military manufacturing. Russia went from importing Iranian drones to making their own and now exporting them to Iran. Putin's plan was that the world is collapsing anyway, so why not build a fortress, make Russia self-sufficient, control the resources, and weather the storm? America saw this and said, we can do the same. Greenland for rare earth minerals, Canada for oil and resources, Venezuela for oil reserves, Mexico for manufacturing, Panama Canal for trade control. So maybe Trump is not being reckless. He is actually building a self-sufficient North American fortress while the rest of the world burns. So yes, Trump looks like an idiot. Yes, he's losing the war in Iran. Yes, he's destroying the global economy. But if the goal was to end the American empire and rebuild it for Americans, to make the world dependent on US resources while everyone else collapses, then Trump might go down as the greatest American president in history. Maybe the New World Order is dead, and maybe we are heading towards a Trump world order.
Now, I'm not saying I agree with this.
I know that's not even 3D or 4D chess. That's 43rd dimensional Parcheesi.
right, but it's not.
It makes sense. It's coherent.
It's not really, right? You have to buy from us now. And well, it turns out we have some conditions, which, by the way, is exactly the thing that he was like slagging Europe off for doing with like Russia before like Nord Stream got blown up. So I don't know. I mean, this is one of those things we're gonna have to like figure out. So America responded to the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz by also putting in their own blockade, essentially saying that no Iranian ships would be allowed to pass so that Iran would not be able to export oil. Now, this is quite important, not just because of the money, but because the way Iran's oil wells work, if they stop flowing, a lot of them are going to like break because they're water injected wells. Apparently, I am not a petroleum engineer, but apparently the way it works is they're these quite old wells, you inject water in and the oil flows out the top. But if the oil stops flowing and if you seal the wells, the water will then infiltrate upwards. And when you restart the wells, water will come out and it may in fact break these oil wells. So this is a whole thing. And that's why I think they're just basically trying to like wait Iran out. And so yeah, I don't know, man. Strait of Hormuz is closed. The Iranians then imposed like their own blockade on every port in the Middle East. It hasn't gotten to like shooting yet. So again, this is Vance.
When it comes to weapons of war, what they have done is engage in this act of economic terrorism against the entire world. They basically threaten any ship that's moving through the Straits of Hormuz. Well, as the President of the United States showed, two could play at that game. And if the Iranians are going to try to engage in
if they're going to do economic terrorism, we can do economic terrorism as well, bro. Except when we do it, it's not economic terrorism, obviously, because we're the good guys, right?
Economic terrorism, we're going to abide by a simple principle that no Iranian ships are getting out either. We know that's a big deal to them. We know that applies additional economic leverage. And again, Brett, the president wants the Iranian people to thrive and succeed. He has had his negotiation team put on the table a serious proposal. The ball is in Iran's court. Did we make progress? Yes. But we're going to find out from the Iranians whether we can make that ultimate bit of progress that gets us to a big deal. When it comes to
Yeah, so big deal is coming, bros. It's going to be awesome. Yes, your gas prices may rise, Ameribros. But if you think about it, it's for the good of the global economy. I don't really look. There's so much bullshit going around at the moment. I just don't know what's really going on, and I'm not going to freaking pretend that I do. But this concept that they want to sort of basically exert petroleum control over all of these countries, particularly like Europe and other countries, by basically doing the Russia thing, right? The exact same thing they were accusing the Russians of, right? You buy our oil and gas, you better not, you better be friendly to us. Instead, it'll be Trump being like, well, I know you like oil and gas. You don't want to freeze to death. You better be nice to us. I can be very, very bad if you cross me. Have you met my friends, the Moos? I don't know, bros. So yeah, there you go. You're all caught up. Oh, and it's just on the hour. Nice one.
Look at you. Now,
we got a couple more super chats.
Absolutely.
Choose the chickens for $5, or they could flip the table and sell all the bonds at once, like a bank run tomorrow, before this multi-month plan happens. Yes, but will they? Rate returns on US bonds at the moment is 4.5%. It's edging up. Okay, now 4.5% on what is basically a risk-free return is pretty fucking good, man. Like, that's 4.5% for doing nothing. The US isn't going to default. They can print their own money, and they got the world's reserve currency. So are all these banks like what are they going to do? What they're going to invest out of US treasuries into what? What they're going to hold, gold or silver? Have you seen how volatile all of these like prices are? Commodities are like just going fucking crazy. What, they're going to like go into Bitcoin? No, they're fucking not. US treasuries are like still very, very safe, and they're paying like quite a high dividend at the moment. And you can easily convert them into dollars to buy oil, which is how the whole petrodollar system works. So if this is the plan, it's pretty good plan in my opinion, actually, right? Dawn Browning gifted 1 membership. Hey Dawn, how you doing? Oh, that's nice.
That is somehow a woman gifting a membership to another woman. I want you to think of how rare that is. How that may never happen again, fellas. Okay, that's incredible.
2% of our audience or something. It's like women,
and then it managed to find another woman is incredible. Thank you so much for that.
It is ordained. It is clearly
I went
ordained.
to someone named Emily or something like that in chat. I saw that. I'm like, this is highly unlikely. Wow, we truly had the spirit tonight.
And see a site for $5. My boss has given me overtime, so I am once again asking to restart the stream. Thanks, bros, mate. I hope your overtime is bearable, mate. Right? Like, solidarity for the employee, bros.
I love the employee. I love that.
Yeah. So that's it.
Terrific. Now
Yeah.
let me just dial us.
Oh wait,
down.
don't we have some like tardation to finish off with?
Just a little bit. I mean, it's up to us.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you guys to Jay Dyer. It seems appropriate to send you to Jay Dyer, who's going to be debating someone on modern day debates. So that seems an appropriate place to send you. But before that happens, now you have to realize there's jokes being made about the moves. Okay. Now with 4chan, very obvious upfront jokes. Now a sign that something is being normalized is the time somebody would take to make a video like this.
Today, we're going to walk one stair for every 100 Jews killed in the Holocaust in remembrance of them. A quick search tells us that about 6 million were killed. So that means we have to climb 60,000 steps. To put that into perspective, you'd have to take the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, and stack it 15 times just to reach the total height. So, yeah, we're going to be here for a while.
We just hit 1,000 steps, so that's 1/60th of the way to 6 mil.
I've seen a few people do challenges like this recently, climbing the Twin Towers, or even David Goggins doing Mount Everest on a Jacob's ladder. So I thought I'd try something similar, partly because I really need to get my cardio up, but also I really wanted to put into perspective just how big a number 6 million really is.
We are now 2/60ths of the way there. It's time for a quick break.
Okay, guys, it is time to take a quick break for the Talmud verse of the day. Let's see what we get. We get Sanhedrin 59a. A goy who pries into the law is guilty of death. Oh, we started the timer back up, and of course the machine had to reset back to 0.
We have 58,000 more to go.
But we keep on moving. I'm not gonna lie, I really started to feel it. All right, so at this point, I started questioning why I thought this was a good idea. I haven't done cardio in years, and somehow I decided this would be a good place to start. I already know I'm definitely not making it to 60,000 steps today, but we'll see how much further we can get. And unfortunately, we had to stop the video with around 2,710-ish steps. 60,000 just wasn't possible.
Dude, that is how normalized this is getting, that somebody would take that time to make that.
Mate.
Dude.
Sly.
Okay, fellas. Well, I'm going to send you over to Jay Dyer, who's doing a debate, which is going to be Trinity versus Unity. You know anything about Trinity versus Unity? That would...
Unitarians are like one of the most
you guys never said anything good about Unitarian.
Yeah, they're one of the most mooish Christian sects there are. Like, it's just one God, bro, right?
That
like,
should be fucking excruciating. Fellas,
yeah,
that would like to hear something that excruciating. That is where you are going next.
One final super chat.
Cool.
Scavenge for $5. We live in the start of Star Wars Episode 1, where Naboo is getting blockaded by the Trade Federation. Now, which side is which, in your opinion? Lol. I don't know, mate. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore. It's been a long,
It's not fun. It's been bastardized. The lore has been severely attacked.
Long fucking time. I don't even know. What do you reckon, Ardy? I mean, surely the Americans would be the Empire, right? Like, and the Iranians would be like the plucky Antifa Jedi. I don't fucking know, man.
I don't think it maps on like that at all.
Yeah.
I think I think it's not episode 4, 5, or 6. I think it might be episode 7, 8, and 9 where everyone's gay in it.
Yeah, right.
It's the remakes where everyone's gay in it. That's what I think.
Yeah, everyone is faking gay.
Everyone's gay and multicultural in it.
We will be back on Friday. New episode of Clowntown Chronicle. Of Clown-Based Lifeform will be out on Thursday with Aaron. It's been lovely hanging out with you chaps. I hope you all have a great day. If you are employing, I hope your employing goes well. Right, like may your boss be kind, and may your shift pass by quickly. If you drive safe. Take care of yourself, bros. Last words, Ardy.
I'm looking at the comments to this Ben Boyce Wokel distance thing, and it looks like Wokel really ate his balls. I might do a stream on that in the next 2 days. That looks real tasty. So
I am gonna watch that. Fuck yeah.
I'll send out a post if I do. Fellas, have a great night. Got the best, fellas. Enjoy. Jay Dyer.
Good night.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is my neighborhood.